honor of today being the final day of 2024, I've gone ahead and compiled over 3 hours from my favorite videos of 2024. Now, starting out, it will be NHL 25 content because that is newer, and of course, the game cycle is currently active. But later on in the video, it will even be videos from NHL 24. Sit back, relax, grab your popcorn, and enjoy. And I hope you all have a very happy new year. The 23-24 NHL season was absolutely historic. You had the Florida Panthers going on, beating my Oilers in the Stanley Cup Finals. McDavid broke a Wayne Gretzky playoff record. Nathan MacKinnon had won the Hart and the Lindsay. Matthews had 69 goals, and conveniently enough, only one in the playoffs. The Leafs yet again lost in round number 1 to the Boston Bruins. But now we are in a brand new season here in 24-25. NHL 25 is finally here, and I'm going to be going ahead and simulating the entire season to see who wins all the individual awards, and of course to see who goes home with Lord Stanley at the end of the season. I am going to simulate the entire season and playoffs, and we will hop into some playoff games, some very key matchups in the playoffs to see who will go on and win Lord Stanley. Now, if you guys are excited for NHL 25 to finally be here, leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications on to ensure that you get notified every single time I go live and post a video. Now, at the end of the season, we have the Colorado Avalanche being the best team, 52, 18, and 12, 116 points. Dallas had a good season at 54. Nashville, with Stammer, Marchessault, and Shea, their new additions over the offseason, they had 52 wins. Florida was good. Detroit, Washington had a good season. The Utah Hockey Club were top 10 in the entire league. Where are my Oilers? Oh my God, Edmonton, no! The Edmonton Oilers were the 26th best team in the entire league. What are we doing, EA? Seriously? 38 wins for a team that went to Game 7 of the Cup Finals and only got better over the offseason? Like, what are we doing? We're one of the worst teams in the league. Chicago only had 33 wins. They were at the bottom. San Jose was bad. St. Louis, LA, Ottawa had another rough season. Even though they picked up Linus Ullmark, it was not enough to even sniff a playoff spot. Individually, Nathan MacKinnon had himself a year, leading in goals with 56 and points with 95. McDavid at 85. Kucherov was up there with 84. Breadman 82. We are in season mode, so the score is going to be a little bit lower than they would be in franchise mode, especially if you cranked up the sim engine scoring. Hasta had a good season. Braden Point was good. Casey Middlestat, 22 goals, 78 points. Ovi is defying logic in pretty much everything. 39 years old, still scoring 36. Your mom's a hoe was up here. We got Zabinajad. Stammer had a good season with Nashville. On the goal side, other than McKinnon, Kucherov had 45, passed to 40. Bedard had 40 as a second-year player. McDavid had a good year as well. Ovi was decent. Matthews, there it is. Another disappointing season. 35 goals, 63 points. Are you kidding me? Artemi Panarin had 35, Tage Thompson 35, and if we take a look at the defenseman here, Makar will dominate. He had 72 points, only 8 goals of scoring. I mean, it's not really that high for defenseman. Quinn Hughes had an okay season, I guess. Jake Ottinger will have the most wins by any goalie. He had 47, Saros 42, Bob was up there with 40. Georgiev had 39, Demko 38, and on the shutout side, we got Jake Ottinger leading there as well. Probably going to take home the Vezina. He had 8 shutouts, Swayman 7, Saros 6, Lindgren had 6 himself, so a plethora of different goalies up here. And here is our Stanley Cup playoff bracket. We have Utah and Vegas in round 1, Vancouver, Seattle, Colorado, Winnipeg, Dallas, Nashville, all in the Western Conference. Moving over to the East, I mean, we have Florida, Columbus. Well, Columbus made the playoffs. Tampa, Detroit, the Islanders, Washington, and then finally a rematch from 2 years ago between the Devils and the Rangers. So we are going to go ahead, hopefully can hop into some nice key games, maybe a game 7, maybe some overtime frames. Now, I am praying to God that we do get some close series here, that I can hop in and actually watch some games. I'm curious to see how different the computer AI is compared to last year, because we knew they were not that great. A lot of stupid, boneheaded plays. The Utah Hockey Club at the moment have Vegas up against the ropes. A 3-2 series lead. It doesn't look like they're going to close them out here in Game 6 as Vegas has forced a Game 7. after pretty much a blowout. I mean, a 5-2 victory is not a close game. All right, a game 7 between Utah and Vegas. 1-1 after 1 and 1-1 after 2. Let's see who's going to pull ahead. Can Utah win their first ever playoff series in franchise history in their first season? Clayton Keller gives them the lead on Adin Hill. 8 minutes to go in the third. Oh no, Vegas is collapsing. Matias Maselli. Here we are, the first gameplay of NHL 25. We got Utah and Vegas in a, oh my god, I was looking at the bottom of the screen for the score clock, completely forgetting they added a new one in. That honestly looks pretty clean. I mean, 3-1 lead. The Utah Hockey Club, I was going to call them the Utah Jazz. They are trying to hold on to a 3-1 lead here in the third period. Maselli coming in. Matias shooting, and Adin Hill make the save. Rebound. Adin Hill. He spread eagled on them fools. Shea Theodore was skated up. The gameplay does look a tad bit slow, but it doesn't look too bad. We can always increase if we want to. Tomas Hertl behind the net. Dursey. He's going to get it out. 2 minutes remaining in the third. We got Schmaltz dangling, shooting, and an easy save by Hill. Vegas has to start pressing if they want any shot at forcing overtime here in Game 7. They're going to get humiliated by the newest team in the NHL, the Utah Hockey Club. 51 seconds away from winning their first ever playoff series. Lost in Krause at the point. There's an empty net for Vegas. Cooley can't put it home. Mark Stone, his spleen is not fractured. What is he doing on the ice right now? 2-on-1, Barbashev and Stone. Stone looking. He back to Holtz. They're not shooting. They don't want to be aggressive. Stone, backhander. And Connor Ingram will make the easy save. My controller is vibrating more than the toys in my oh no. Pietrangelo shooting. I don't even know where I was going with that joke. Pietrangelo again shooting. Bukestad up to McBain. 18 seconds to go. Utah, they pretty much have done it. They're going to win. Oh my god. You guys can't put home an empty netter still? Are you serious? You're at the blue line. Just put it home. A Pee-wee hockey player could do that. 5 seconds. It does not matter. For the first time in franchise history, the Utah Hockey Club have won a playoff series as they defeat the Vegas Golden Knights in Game 7 in the very first round in an upset, as we have a new playoff series win presentation somewhat. I mean, that was a new clip. The rest of this is pretty much the same, but overall, you love to see it. The LTIR cheaters get what they had coming to them, as the handshake line has been a little bit upgraded. That's good to see. I went back to previous NHL games, and the handshake line was a lot better. Another Game 7 here in the first round. Seattle and Vancouver. Heading into the third, Vancouver is steamrolling the Kraken. A 4-1 lead for the Nucks as they are trying to advance to round number 2. 5-1. This game is over, baby. And now for the final Game 7 of the first round, we have an original 6. What am I saying? 2-1 lead for Detroit over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tampa scores 3 straight in the second period to take a 4-2 lead. 15 seconds, 5-2. Oh my god, the Lightning are just feasting on the Red Wings. 5-3 though, the game is not over. Lucas Raymond on Andrei Vasilevsky. It's only a 2-goal game. You never really know, especially with the sim engine. A brand new sim engine, hopefully. And 6-3, Nikita Kucherov will put it to bed, baby. As the Tampa Bay Lightning have beaten the Detroit Red Wings in 7 games here in round number 1. Heading into the second round, we now only have 4 matchups left here in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Who is advancing to the conference finals? Utah right now are on the verge of getting swept here in round number 2 as they actually faced a good team. I mean, Vancouver up 1-0 here in the third period. Philip Hronek gives them an insurance marker. Utah is somewhat run out of gas. I mean, Clayton Keller, it's not over yet. It's going to be a tough hill to climb to come back in this series. Got to win 4 straight games. Vancouver, 5 minutes to go. Can they hold on, baby? Lockdown defense for the Canucks. They're leading 2-1 in this game. 1:18 to go here in the third period. What I don't like is the fact that we hop into the third and the score clock does not know the shots on goal. Why is it 0-0? If you guys were going to add shots on goal to be on the score clock, no matter when I hop into the game, it's only going to track what happens in the real-time game, which is a little bit weird. Daniel Sprong with his pink visor behind the net. 41 seconds to go. First look at the Utah Hockey Club arena here in NHL 25. Looks pretty clean, I'm not going to lie. Ian Cole, why does Ian Cole have the puck in the offensive zone? Bukestad cannot bury it. They're not out of it, though. Clayton Keller, great save by Demko, trying to cover it. Sprong up to Garland, 23 seconds remaining. Empty net for Utah. Marino gets it. He moves up to Cooley, gets stripped. Garland to Pettersson, and there it is. Elias Pettersson will put it home as the Vancouver Canucks are off to the conference finals after sweeping the Utah Hockey Club here in round number 2. The New York Rangers are trying to beat their arch rivals and make it back to the conference finals for the 3rd time in 4 seasons. They have a 3-1 lead over the Islanders right now heading into the 3rd. McLean gets them back to within 1 on Igor Shesterkin, who is the best goaltender in the world right now. 14 minutes remaining in the 3rd period. A battle of New York here in round number 2. It is only a 1-goal game. Can the Islanders somehow claw their way back? Force Game 7 back in Long Island, I believe, or Brooklyn, wherever the hell it is. I don't even know. Or actually, we're in. An opportunity is an opportunity. The New York Rangers trying to go back to the conference finals. They have a 4-2 lead over the Islanders. Right when I went to hop in, they scored a goal. Lafreniere over to Breadman, shooting the 95 overall Artemi Panarin, by the way. A little bit high in my opinion, but I mean, he did have one hell of a regular season. Playoffs are not really his thing. We know that already. Here in UBS Arena, I believe it is called. I don't know why they don't play in Barclays anymore. It doesn't matter. It gets out of the zone. Keandre Miller skates back for it. 45 seconds to go. The Islanders need to pull their goalie, but they're unable to do so if they don't have the puck. They're literally, oh my God, Zibanejad just got laid the hell out. Duclair coming in. Anthony Duclair on the backhand. A filthy goal as he gets the New York Islanders back to within 1, his 2nd of the playoff run so far. Matthew Barzal, hell of a forecheck, laying out Zibanejad, gives it over. And Duclair, a nice little forehand backhand. Ooh, top titties. As Anthony Duclair with those silky mitts will just rip the puck home. And honestly, I'm liking this camera angle. A little more interactive, a little more dynamic than what we got in 24, but the game is not over. New York still needs another goal just to tie this game up and force OT. They only have 34 seconds. If they do get possession, I am going to pull their goalie. I'm in coach mode right now, so I guess technically I'm an Islanders fan for a little bit. Here we go. Pull the goalie. Empty net. Oh, no. Breadman. No. It would, maybe this was a mistake. Artemi Panarin, Adam Fox to Zibanejad. Nice block. Who was that? Adam Pelech that blocked the puck. Barzal moves it up. They only have 20 seconds. Kreider over to Lafreniere. Lafreniere does not get it to go. Fox. Why would Fox not shoot that? Duclair on the boards. Fox again, and there it is. The 3rd best defenseman in the league, and Adam Fox will seal the deal for the New York Rangers as they are headed back to the conference finals. Shout out EA for also adding in this. This is the reaction of the bench for that empty netter. You see everybody going crazy. It adds more personality to not only the rest of the players, but also the coaches interacting there. Our conference finals matchups are set. We got Colorado and Vancouver, Tampa Bay and New York. And honestly, I've seen worse conference finals in year number 1. These are 4 good teams that realistically do have a shot at making it this far. So let's see who will move on now to the Stanley Cup finals. We have a 2-2 series tie between Tampa and the Rangers and a 3-1 lead for the Vancouver Canucks. Have the opportunity to punch their ticket to the Stanley Cup finals here tonight in Colorado. Can they seal the deal, beat the Avs, and head on? Oh, wait a minute. Colorado up 1-0 here in the 3rd. The Avs have something to say about this. McKinnon and Makar, the dynamic duo that have already won a Stanley Cup. They are not going to go out without a fight. That's for damn sure. 5 minutes to go. This is a tight-ass game. Only 1-0 as Colorado trying to hold on to a 1-goal lead. And they will force a Game 6 back in Vancouver. Vancouver does have another shot here to end. Oh, no, they are not ending Colorado's season. Down 4-1 here in the 3rd period. We are going to have a Game 7 back in Colorado. The Rangers also have an opportunity to punch their ticket to the Stanley Cup Finals. Up 3-2 in the game, 3-2 in the series. 14 minutes to go. 14 hard miles. A 4-2 lead. Sam Carrick will score on Andrei Vasilevsky. There is the insurance marker for the Rangers as they are trying to finally, oh my God, they might do it. 1 minute and 50 seconds stand between the Rangers and the Stanley Cup Finals. They got a 2-goal lead, so it's way better than having a 1-goal lead, especially with the computers. We know they're not that great at offense. Victor Hedman coming in, looking. Nah, that was a horrible pass by Hedman. Gensel, Jake Gensel on the Tampa Bay Lightning. That is going to take some time to getting used to. Braden Point. Why would he not go backdoor to Kucherov? Point trying to find any offense. Empty net for the Lightning as they have made the conference finals yet again. But unfortunately for them, they are down by 2 with 35 to go. Their season on the line. Kucherov gets a pretty much a breakaway. Kucherov coming in, shooting, and Igor will make the easy save. 29.1 seconds to go here in the third period. Shots are 33-25. So they do track it. I guess there was just some sort of a glitch that one time. I mean, it is day one. Kucherov coming in. Anthony Cirelli loses it. Atkinson picks it up, shoots, and that's an easy save. I mean, that was a muffin of a shot, an absolute muffin. The Lightning can see their season drifting away. 17.5 remaining here in the third. They're down by 2 as the Rangers, for the first time, can they go on to the Stanley Cup Finals for the first time since 2014? Damn, over a decade ago at this point. 7 seconds remaining. Empty net. Chris Kreider will put home the empty netter as the New York Rangers have pretty much punched their ticket back to the Stanley Cup Finals. And there it is, your Eastern Conference Finals champs. The New York Rangers, who did lose to Florida last season in 6 games, will get it done this time, and they are headed back to the finals for the first time in over a decade. They are happy as can be. I mean, who wouldn't be? They've struggled, well, not really struggled. They had playoff success, but they really relied on Igor to steal their games in the playoffs. So maybe now they finally found a way to produce their best players, can be their best players come playoff time, as the handshake line never gets old between two teams just battling it out. As there is Jacob Trouba accepting the award. We got another Game 7. The Colorado Avalanche, I believe they were down 3-1 in the series, but they lead 3-1 here in the third period. Elias Pettersson cuts that lead down to 1, though. We got a tight game here in Game 7, the way it's always been played between Vancouver and Colorado. 5 minutes remaining. I don't know why it keeps happening to me, but somebody always scores when I go and try to hop into the game. Colorado 4-2 lead. We got 3:45 remaining, so we got a little bit of time here to watch the computers cook and maybe possibly mount a comeback. Demko will make the easy save. Nathan McKinnon on the draw. He loses it to JT Miller, who got a major buff in this game, and honestly, well deserved. The dude's been putting up numbers for the past 3 years on Vancouver, even when they weren't very good. Devon Taves trying to get it out. Moves it up to Cale Makar, the best D-man in the league. McKinnon, the Hart Trophy winner. Middle stat rebound for the dog. No, he couldn't put it home. Nichushkin still on Colorado somehow, still ordering hookers. Valerie, back to the point. Where are the skill-based 1-Ts? I want to see the computers cook with those. Over Taves! And a great save by Demko, who has no energy at all. 45 seconds remaining. Empty net for the Vancouver Canucks. Quinn Hughes taking his time. That's a smart play. I'm not going to lie. Georgiev made the save. Look, I have to be objective. When I see a great play by the computers that actually creates time and space, I have to call it like I see it. Quinn Hughes right here uses his edge work. He sees he has no options at all here. Everybody is covered. There's back checkers on him. What does he do? He does what any NHL player would do. Just a slight little delay, loop back to the point. And look at that. He just created time and space for himself while his teammates tried to get into the zone. They actually made a change. They made a change during this. He takes his time. He looks for the point guy, feeds it to Filip Hronek, who gets, I guess, a decent shot. It was an easy save by Georgiev. But that's what I want to see the computers do. I don't want them just turning it over when they don't have any options. Like Quinn Hughes here, he basically has nothing to do. Last year, this was definitely a turnover by the computer. Probably would have just skated into the D-man, but Quinn Hughes makes the tight turn, the delay, back to the point, and a good shot on net. 37 seconds remaining in the third period. Still down by 2 for Vancouver. Quinn shooting, doesn't get a shot on net. A scramble in the middle, back to the point. Hronek blasts one, doesn't get it to go again. Rantanen, I mean, they are having trouble getting shots on net right now. Landeskog, there's an empty net. Captain Landy returns, and Captain Landy will put it home, baby. The Colorado Avalanche are headed back to the Stanley Cup Finals. It is almost a foregone conclusion at this point that the Colorado Avalanche will beat Vancouver. I mean, a 5-2 lead with 15 seconds left. The Avs now have a date with destiny, or should I say a date with the New York Rangers in the Stanley Cup Finals. They made it back in 22. They won the Stanley Cup. They're trying to go for their second cup in the the McKinnon and Makar era, as they have beaten the Vancouver Canucks in Game 7. A 3-1 comeback was completed. The Vancouver Canucks had the Avs on the ropes. I mean, how don't you close out that series? An absolute choke job by Vancouver, as they know already, they're pretty used to that. Georgiev and Demko, battle of the goalies. And Gabriel Landeskog will be able to not touch that trophy. Is it the Clarence S. Campbell Award? I have no idea, to be honest. Our finals matchup is set. We got the Avs and the Rangers. Best of 7. The winner goes home with the Stanley Cup, and the loser, unfortunately, will have to spend 24 hours in the same room as Diddy. The Rangers right now are on the ropes, down 3-2 in this series. They got a tie game here in the third, so they're not out of it yet, but they got to force a Game 7 back in Colorado. We are in MSG right now, a 1-1 tie between Colorado and New York. Are we going to have the first overtime pretty much of this entire playoffs? We could possibly see the Stanley Cup presentation right now. The Colorado Avalanche have a chance to win their second Stanley Cup within 3 seasons, I believe, as they are tied. All they need is one. We got a tie game here in Game 6. They are leading 3-2 in the series. The Rangers trying to force 7 back in the Mile High City of Denver, Colorado. Lafreniere loses it. Nichushkin, you're going the wrong way. Too much hookers and blow. Middlestat gliding over to McKinnon. The dog, Nathan McKinnon doesn't even get a shot on net. Alex Lafreniere. Laffy up to Zibanejad. Deking in the middle, shooting, and Georgiev will make the save. Chris Kreider back to Fox, rips one on net, a great save, and it is out of play, I believe. A massive face-off for both teams here. The Rangers, Vinny Trocheck loses it. Oh my God, who is that trying to swipe at Cale Makar with his stick? Valerie looking, Nichushkin back to Makar, shooting, doesn't get a shot on net. Vinny Trocheck moves it up to Kreider. Chris goddamn Kreider. He's looking. Kreider loses it. Nathan McKinnon is a hound on that forecheck, like a dog chasing after a bone. Devon Taves up to Landy. Gabriel Landeskog. I don't know what he's doing. Landy behind the net. Doesn't get to, I think that was Casey Middlestat. Rantanen loses it on the wall. Smith up to Miller. Keandre Miller looking over. Kreider ripping it. Rebound is there. McMahon or Manson, my bad. Up to Rantanen. Landy again. Can he have another overtime hero? Over Druin, shooting. A great save by Igor halfway through this overtime frame. I'm hoping. Kako moves it up to Kull. I don't even know who that is. Over to Hedl. Philip Hedl looking, waiting, wristing it. Georgiev makes the great save. Josh Manson trying to skate the puck out as a puck-moving defenseman. Up to Gabriel Landeskog. He's still out there trying to pull off all the moves. He can't, though. He has those stone hands. The Rangers counterattack. Hedl rips it. Rebound. No. The New York Rangers player cannot get there. Trouba back to the point, and there it is. Ryan Lindgren will force a Game 7 for the New York Rangers back in Denver, Colorado. Ryan Lindgren says, "This is not over." With those skill-based one-timers, he rips it in the back of the net. Well, here it is. One game to decide the Stanley Cup. No score after one period, and we got a 1-1 tie after two. A tight game. Please do not give me overtime. There it is. Devon Taves gives the Colorado Avalanche a lead here in the third period, trying not to blow a 3-2 series lead. The Rangers, they're doing all they could, man, honestly. I mean, they forced a Game 7 after being down and out, it looked like it. 5 minutes remaining here in the third period. Less than a minute to go here in the third period of Game 7. We had a Game 7 last year, my Oilers and the Florida Panthers, and we got another one here in 2025. 51 seconds remaining, third period. Adam Fox ripping it on net. The Avs trying to hold on to a 2-1 lead. They're getting pressured extremely hard by Laffy and the Rangers. Makar moves it up to Nichushkin. Empty net, a horrible... What was that, Nichushkin? Are you serious? What is going on, Adam Fox? He had a clear open net and he just dumped it in. I guess it's a safe play, but goddamn, bro, nobody was even near you. Makar moves it up. Nichushkin. There it is! Valerie Nichushkin will make up for his mistake. Pulls off the heartbreaking Sally. I don't even know what that was. Bro's diving on two knees. 6th of the playoff run. The Avalanche now have a 2-goal lead. That is the face of a coach that knows his team has just lost Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And at the end of the 24-25 season, the Colorado Avalanche are yet again your Stanley Cup champions. They won back in 22, And now 3 years later, they defeat the New York Rangers in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals to finally be able to go on and win Lord Stanley. The handshake line, this one has got to be the most painful, especially losing a Game 7. Alexander Georgiev wins the Conn Smythe Trophy somehow, someway. Bro had a .922 save percentage. The face models do look a lot better. They said they upgraded them, and they definitely did. And there it is, the Stanley Cup. But every team in the league plays for every single season. Only one winner, 31 losers, and this season it was the Colorado Avalanche. Here comes Gabriel Landeskog. Didn't even play last season, but now is a Stanley Cup champion, a two-time Stanley Cup champion, as the Colorado Avalanche have gone all the way. Now, for the entire playoffs, Artemi Panarin will have the most points at 22. Adam Fox had a good playoff run. JT Miller, 10 goals, 21 points. Rantanen was decent. So the offense wasn't really there for Colorado. It was more of a team effort. And I mean, Alexander Georgiev, after that horrible playoff run he had last year, rocked a .924 save percentage. Today, I'm going to be swapping every single first and second overall pick in every single NHL entry draft, dating back all the way to 2003. And we are going to see what teams prevail and what teams crumble because of all the changes that I have made here in NHL 25. So, taking a look at the NHL, it is going to be vastly different. If we take a look here, Anaheim, 2 times they missed out on a generational talent in Sidney Crosby, and now 2 years ago, Connor Bedard. So they're going to have both of them on the team. The Buffalo Sabres will pick up Andrei Svechnikov, Aaron Ekblad, and none other than Connor McDavid at a 99 overall, as well as Matty Beniers, who is an 84. So this team might be a lot better. They could potentially go on and win a Stanley Cup in this sim. The Carolina Hurricanes will pick up Rasmus Dahlin at a 91 overall as he went first to the Buffalo Sabres. Chicago are going to get JVR, James Van Riemsdyk, as well as Leo Carlson, who was drafted second behind Bedsy. Alexander Barkov and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will play for the Colorado Avalanche, now 96 and 87 overall. For the Edmonton Oilers, we got Jack Eichel joining the team at a 91, as well as Tyler Seguin and Gabriel Landeskog. So they're going to have a bit of a different team now in NHL 25. Florida is going to pick up Sam Reinhart, which they already have in real life, obviously, but he was drafted to the Buffalo Sabres second overall. Aaron Ekblad, of course, went first. And we also have the dog, Nathan McKinnon, joining the squad. Los Angeles will pick up Steven Stamkos at a 91 overall. The New Jersey Devils will get Juraj Slafkovsky, who's still very young, at an 85, as well as Capo Kakko, who is way down here at an 81. Has not really developed, especially as a second overall pick. This dude's career high was 18 goals and 40 points last season, or actually 2 years ago. And then, if anything, he regressed back down to 13 goals and 19 points in 61 games. The New York Rangers are just flatly gonna get better. Jack Hughes at a 95 overall will be joining their squad, as well as Quinton Byfield, who is an 86. After scoring the Stanley Cup winning goal back in 2010, we got Patrick Kane joining the Philadelphia Flyers, as well as Nico Hischier, who is the current captain of the New Jersey Devils in real life. Alexander Ovechkin will be joining the Pittsburgh Penguins at 39 years old, 89 overall. The Tampa Bay Lightning will grab Drew Doughty out of his prime at 34 years old, as well as a washed-up John Tavares. They're both going to be an 87 overall apiece. The only pickup that the Maple Leafs will get is a 90 overall Victor Hedman, as well as an 85 Patrick Fortnite Line, baby. Basically, him and Austin Matthews have both swapped places, of course. Evgeny Malkin will join the Washington Capitals at an 88 overall, as he did slot in behind Ovi in the 04 draft. And finally, Austin Tummyache Matthews will go to the Winnipeg Jets. He's a 96 in the middle of his prime. I pretty much went back all the way down to like 2003 NHL draft, and after that, I wasn't finding really any players that are still currently playing in the NHL, so now that I've gone ahead and swapped every single first and second overall pick over the last like 2 decades, we are going to see who will dominate the simulation and maybe form new dynasties in the NHL. Now, at the end of the first season, we got the Boston Bruins winning the President's Trophy. They had the most wins at 52. Dallas had 53. Tampa Bay was up there. We got Buffalo having a very good year, now with a prime Connor McDavid. on their team. They should be very good. Ottawa, and at the bottom, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Very predictable. Montreal was bad, and the Nashville Predators also. Connor McDavid will go ahead and lead the NHL in goal scoring with 58 tucks on the season. Also had the most points at 122, followed by Draisaitl's 121. McKinnon was up there. We got Crosby at 106. Jason Robertson basically having a career high. I did not mess with the goalies because, let's be honest, Marc-Andre Fleury is the only top 5 goalie pick in the last, 20 years, but Ottinger had the most wins at 52. Oh my god, 3 separate goalies broke the NHL wins record for the season, and on shutouts, we got Ville Husso and Jeremy Swayman both having 8 apiece. And here we go, the most important part of the video, the Stanley Cup playoffs. Here are our matchups. Let's see who makes the finals. And now in the Cup finals, we have the Dallas Stars up against the Buffalo Sabres. So Connor McDavid, in his first year in Buffalo, could possibly win this franchise their very first Stanley Cup ever. Either that or they are going to crumble like a sack of potatoes. Here we go. Game 1 of the Cup finals. Buffalo holds on to a 3-1 lead. 4-1 lead as Sam Lafferty will score on Jake Ottinger. Robertson gets them back to within 2. 15 minutes to go. It is a high-scoring affair here in game number 1 as Jack Quinn gets a nice power play marker. It's no secret who I'm cheering for here. Connor McDavid, favorite player of all time. Nail plays for Buffalo. I guess I got to cheer for the Sabres bringing it home. Robertson gets them back to within 2, but I think it might be too little too late as the Sabres will take game number 1. All right, here we are in game 2 of the Cup finals. Dallas needs to have a big answer, but they are going to allow, 3 straight in the second period and are down 4-2 here in the third with 14 minutes left to go. There they go. Evgeny Dadonov on Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen gets them back to within 1, but the Sabres desperately trying to hold on to a 1-goal lead here in game 2 and take a 2-0 series lead. Can they do it? Headed back to Buffalo with the opportunity of sweeping the Dallas Stars. This is a must-win game. If the Stars go down 3-0, that is basically wraps on the series. And yet again, they're down by 2 heading into the third. They just cannot get a lead in this series. Jack Quinn gets an insurance marker for Buffalo, and that might do it here in game number 3. The Sabres are 1 win away from winning the Stanley Cup and sweeping the Stars. Here we go. Do or die game for the Stars heading into the third. Oh my god, it's basically a blowout. And never mind, Mason Marchment back to within 2. But Jason Zucker, Jason Robertson, all the Jasons are showing up here in game 4. Oh my god, Wyatt Johnston. It's a 1-goal game. Dylan Cousins, what a barn burner here in game number 4. An absolute gong show in the Cup finals. A 7-5 hockey game with 8 minutes left to go. Well, here we go. 35 seconds remain in the third period of game number 4. The Stars empty their net. They're down by 2. Simi Steele coming in. A great save by Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen as the Buffalo Sabres on the verge of history, winning their first cup literally ever. Dadonov coming in, getting, I don't know, I guess bested by the defenseman there. I don't really know. He didn't make any moves. McDavid in the corner trying to help out. There's only 13 seconds left. McDavid killing the clock in the corner. He wants to win his first cup of his career. Greenway, shoot it in the empty net, buddy. There you go. The Buffalo Sabres will go on in year number 1 and dominate the Dallas Stars, sweeping them 4 straight wins in the finals. After they added Connor McDavid to the squad, they became a much better hockey team. And I mean, that is not really too surprising. I also believe they added Aaron Ekblad, who they drafted. I believe it was Sam Reinhart. Ekblad went number 1 in 2014. And now with the addition of the first and second overall picks, Connor McDavid, Conn Smythe winner, 15 goals and 36 points. And in his very first season as a Sabre, will do more than pretty much any other player has done in franchise history outside of Dominic Hasek, but he didn't even win a cup, I believe, with the Sabres. As there it is, Lord Stanley awaiting the captain, who is no longer here. So Casey, who's 37 on the Buffalo Sabres? I have no idea who that is right now. It is, I cannot even tell. Regardless, he's going to go on, raise the Stanley Cup, and the Buffalo Sabres are champions in year number 1. It is Andrei Svechnikov. I completely forgot about 37. Obviously, Connor McDavid will dominate the playoffs. He had the most goals at 15 and also the most points at 36. Jason Robertson was very good, though, as well as Wyatt Johnston. Andrei Svechnikov definitely chipped in. Crosby in only 17 games had 25 points, and Connor Bedard. So watch out for the Anaheim Ducks. I would not be shocked if they go on a very deep playoff run, potentially even winning a cup with these two as their dynamic duo. McDavid is going to go ahead and win all the awards. We got the Norris going to Adam Fox, the Conn Smythe to McDavid. Matvei Mishkov wins the Calder. Igor will take home the Vezina, and Barkov on the Colorado Avalanche will still win the Selke Trophy. At the end of the second season, Vancouver surprisingly will win the President's Trophy, be the best team in the league, 53 wins, followed by the Rangers. Boston had a good season. Dallas, Winnipeg, and Tampa were all up there and at the bottom. Yet again, we have Columbus, Nashville, Seattle, Utah. Calgary was very bad. Nikita Kucherov will lead the league in scoring with only 108 points. Draisaitl had 106. McDavid definitely took a step back, at least points-wise. Pasternak was good. McKinnon on the Florida Panthers was good, as well as Crosby, both having 100 points on the year. And on the goal side, Connor McDavid yet again will lead. He had 53 on the year. McKinnon had 51, and nobody else even hit 50. Crosby had 43, which is good for a 37-year-old. What is Tommy Matthews doing on the Winnipeg Jets? 43 goals, 83 points. Barely even producing as a #1 sniper in the league. I mean, I adjusted his stats. He's up to a 96. This guy theoretically should be performing very, very well in the simulation. If we take a look at the goalies, Igor and Demko will both have 54 and 53 wins. And for shutouts, John Gibson alongside Thatcher Demko will tie for the lead with 9 apiece. And here we go yet again. This is our year #2 Stanley Cup playoff bracket. I'm very interested to see if Buffalo has what it takes to go back-to-back, or will we have a brand new team emerge and end up winning the cup. And now in the finals, we have a matchup between Winnipeg and Buffalo, which means McDavid versus Matthews on completely different teams than they play in real life. A best-of-7 series. We'll see if Buffalo goes back-to-back, or maybe the Winnipeg Jets will win their first. Here we go. Game #1 of the Cup Finals. The Sabres trying to go back-to-back, and they're going to dominate 8-2 in Game 1. Oh, man, this game was not even close. I mean, Connor McDavid had a pair. Jack Quinn got one. Svechnikov, I think he had 2. Yes, he did. Jason Zucker got in the mix. The Sabres were just clearly better than the Jets. The Jets are going to need a massive response here in game #2. They only hold on to a 1-0 lead here in the third period, but they cannot fall down 2-0 to the reigning and defending Stanley Cup champions. They're outplaying Buffalo right now. There we go. Austin Matthews gets one on Luukkonen and gives Winnipeg an insurance marker. Shots are 30-22. Buffalo making a stretch here. They're trying to claw back in the game, but there's not enough time as Winnipeg will tie the series up. A very pivotal game #3 here in Buffalo, and after 2, the Sabres hold on to a 4-1 lead, 5-1 as Connor McDavid, 6-1. Dear God, this game is over. Get me out of here. Shots were even, but the goals, they definitely were one-sided, all to the Buffalo Sabres. We are either going back to Winnipeg with a 3-1 series lead or a 2-2 tie, and right now the Sabres hold on to a 5-3 lead as Austin Matthews gets the Jets back to within 2. They have time to come back in this game, but they're going to need to score a quick one here. 10 minutes remaining in the third. It is still a 5-3 hockey game as Buffalo trying to shut the door, go up 3-1, an inch closer to their second Stanley Cup in a row. All right, here we go. Stanley Cup in the building here in game #5. Buffalo holds on to a 1-goal lead, 3-2 here in the third period. Winnipeg, I mean, they're fighting for their lives right now, down 3-1 in the series. It's a massive hill to climb. Josh Morrissey ties the game up, but man, if anybody can do it, it might be the 8-1 Jets. They used to be 8-0, but obviously that Toronto game happened. There you go. Gabriel Velarde gives them the lead late in the third period. Are they going to hold on and force a game 6? They will indeed do so. Winnipeg did enough to force a game 6. Can they do even more to force 7 back on home ice in front of those fans? Buffalo gets the lead. Bowen Byram on Connor Hellebuyck. A 3-2 game. 3-3 as Austin Matthews finally has awoken, ties the game up at 3. We got 13 minutes remaining to go in this third period. Shots are 37-23 for the Buffalo Sabres. Are we actually going to have our first overtime of the entire playoffs? Finally, we get some overtime hockey here in the Stanley Cup Finals. In Game 6, the Sabres hold on to a 3-2 series lead. Obviously, the Jets trying to force 7 back on home ice, but the Buffalo Sabres, they want to go back-to-back here. They want to get their second cup in a row. McDavid, beautiful feed. Svechnikov turns around, and Hellebuyck makes the great save. One shot is really all it takes here in overtime, especially with the computer AI. You never really know They usually tend not to have the greatest offensive awareness. Bombarm over to Tuck, over to McDavid, looking. Svechnikov to Tuck again, shooting. The Sabres are all over Winnipeg right now. Bombarm trying to get a shot on net, and they can't not do so. Aaron Ekblad has to regroup. Over to Connor McDavid, the best player of all time. Finds Alex Tuck, over to Svechnikov, shooting. And an easy save by Hellebuck. You might need to do more if you want to beat Hellebuck one-on-one there. We're probably going to have to get a screen in front. Ehlers, where is he going? Over to Josh Morrissey, who for some reason might not make Team Canada, although I think he should be an easy lock as the 5th defenseman on that team. Oh no, turnover. Kyle Connor headed the other way. You got to go the other way, brother. To Tommy Ake Matthews, wearing number 3. Oh my God. That is a sacrilege jersey. Why is Matthews wearing 3? Uh-oh. Aaron Ekblad over, trying to cross-crease it over to, I don't even know who that was. Here we go. Mark Scheifele on a 2-on-2 to Gabriel Velarde. Deking does not get a shot off as JJ Peterka picks up the puck. So far, we've had a back-and-forth overtime period. I mean, you guys know the deal. I'm going to hop into one of these bad boys, and oh no, there it is. Velarde all alone. Cannot bury the puck, though. Scheifele back to the point. And an easy save by Luukkonen. I can honestly only withstand one of these overtime frames of watching the computers go back and forth. At a time, at least. I can hop into another one, but more than one. Once you start getting to double OT and stuff like that. Great save. Rebound. Velarde. Full pressure for the Jets. They can't get another great chance, though. Tage Thompson skates it out. 8:45 left to go in overtime. Scheifele gets the puck. He regroups it over to Cole Perfetti, I believe. Number 91. Yes. Perfetti coming into the zone, looking, shooting, and he cannot get the puck off the ice, just like a Timbits hockey player. A massive face-off here with 7 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. Scheifele loses it. Samuelson skates that puck out. Why don't we get, oh, there's Matty Beniers. Who cares? Connor McDavid, get out on the ice, brother. We need that 99 to go to work here. In the middle, Jokiharju can't even hit the goddamn net. Down low to McDaddy. Connor looking over. Alex Tuck was all alone, and he cannot beat Hellebuck. Big turnover by Buffalo, and Svechnikov gets robbed by Hellebuck right out of the corner. God damn. 5:09 left to go in the overtime frame. McDavid on the draw. Wins it. Back to the point. Back to Bryson. Over to Clifton. Shoots. Rebound was there, but nobody was on top of the puck. Man, you guys are so close to back-to-back titles. Yeah, you're not that hungry. Over. Niederreiter shooting. Great save by Luukkonen. Moves up to McDaddy. McDavid weaving through. He can't even split the D. Come on, AI. Somebody's got to cook up a goal here. Over. Niederreiter shooting. A great save by Luukkonen. We have yet to see a single goal in the overtime period. Over to Josh Morrissey, ripping it on net. Rebound, and there it is. The Winnipeg Jets will force 7 back on home ice in a do-or-die game as they've crawled all the way back. They were down 3-1 in the series, and now it's winner take all. All right, here we go. Game 7, do or die for both teams, and how fitting is it that we get a 1-1 tie heading into the third. Buffalo and Winnipeg going at it to see who's going to take home the Stanley Cup in the second season of this sim. Please do not give me overtime again. I don't want to see OT. I do not want to see OT. Somebody take the lead in this very tight game. No. Winnipeg with 3:35 remaining to go. Winnipeg with 3 minutes left to go will score, get the lead, and now they're on the verge of making history. I don't know if any team have come back down 3-1 in the final series before. Kyle Connor shooting, rebound, Luukkonen makes the save. The Buffalo Sabres are going to have to empty their net soon. 52 seconds left to go. Empty the net. Oh, Alex Tuck just got laid out by Kyle Connor. Aaron Ekblad skating in. There it is. Empty net. Svechnikov shooting, and Hellebuck will make the great save. This is it. 42 seconds left to go. 6-on-5 action as Buffalo have pulled their goalie. Bombarm shooting. There's a rebound, and the net is off its moorings. There it is. The Stanley Cup awaiting to be presented to the winner, which could possibly be the Winnipeg Jets after being down 3-1 in this series. Absolutely zero quit in this team. And now they are 30 seconds away from winning the Stanley Cup for the first time in their franchise's history. 40.1 seconds to go. 6-on-5 action again. The Jets, Ehlers wins the draw. Oh no, Alex Tuck squeaking through, trying to go 5-hole. I have no idea why. That was literally never going to work on Connor Hellebuck. Kyle Connor skates it out. He's got wheels as well, baby. He's got wheels. He's in the zone, and he will bury it. The empty netter, the insurance marker. The Winnipeg Jets will do the impossible after being down 3-1, claw their way back to a Game 7 on home ice, and get the job done as they go all the way here in season number 2 beating the reigning and defending Stanley Cup champions in the Buffalo Sabres, who now have Connor McDavid and Andrei Svechnikov, and I believe Aaron Ekblad. So they have a very good team over there, trying to get their second straight, but just could not get the job done, as Winnipeg will emerge in number 3. Auston Matthews, 18 goals, 32 points. Definitely well-deserved for Mr. Tummyache. And here comes the captain, Adam Lowry, the best in the league to raise the Stanley Cup here in Winnipeg for the first time ever, as in year number 2, the Winnipeg Jets are Stanley Cup champions. Auston Matthews will have the most goals at 18 and the most points at 32 in the playoff run. McDavid at 29. Kyle Connor was very good. Crosby, again, only played 18 games, but was extremely well in those games with 29 points. And Andrei Svechnikov, 14 goals and 25 points. Draisaitl will win the Ted Lindsay, McDavid the Maurice Richard, Kucherov the Art Ross, and Pasta the Hart Trophy. Charlie McAvoy will win the Norris. We got Matthews the Conn Smythe, Demko the Vezina, and yet again, Barkov the Selke. Now in the final season, the Tampa Bay Lightning will be the best team in the league, winning 53 games, 116 points, followed by the Winnipeg Jets. Colorado had a good season. Edmonton was up there, Florida, and the Rangers. And at the bottom, San Jose with 24 wins on the season. That is tough. Sidney Crosby will finally go off in the sim. He won't have the most goals. That would be Nathan MacKinnon with 60, but Crosby would have the most points at 118. Draisaitl had 115. Kucherov was up there. Nathan MacKinnon had a very good year. Matthews put up 108, which I believe would be a career high for him. We overall had a lot of 100-point scorers in the National Hockey League this season, and even for goals was up by a lot. Crosby had 56. He came in second place, passed to 55. Draisaitl 52. Matthews 52. So we had like 5 50-goal scorers, as Connor Hellebuyck has the most wins at 53 and the most shutouts. Freddie Anderson put up 11 on the year. And now here is our third and final playoff bracket of the entire video. And now as we head into the Cup Finals, we got the Edmonton Oilers up against the New York Rangers. No Connor McDavid will be playing in this series. New York, I think they got Jack Hughes, which is the biggest acquisition. And the Edmonton Oilers, I cannot even remember who I added to their team. Here we go. Game number 1 in Rogers Place in Edmonton, and the Oilers will win it 3-1 with 2 third-period goals by none other than Shaq Hyman, also 1 empty netter. Moving on to game number 2, the Rangers. I mean, they don't want to fall down 0-2 in the series, and that is exactly what they're going to do. Hyman, Landy, Skinner, and Adam Henrique will all score in the third period alone. This is basically a must-win game for the Rangers. They fall down 0-3 and they are cooked, and that is exactly what they are. Victor Arvidsson scores in the third period, a 4-2 win, and the Oilers now are 1 win away from winning the Cup without McDavid. Stanley Cup in the building, Game 4 in Madison Square Garden, and the Rangers hold on to a 2-1 lead despite getting outshot 30-24 in the third period. Igor needs to have a massive period if he wants the Rangers to hold on here. We know the Oilers, they're going to throw a lot of shots on net. 5 minutes left to go. Can the Rangers force a game number 4 or game 5? What am I saying? 1 minute left in the game, and they will finally win their first in the Stanley Cup Finals. Every game from here on out, of course, is a must-win for the Rangers. Heading into the third, they hold on to a 3-1 lead, possibly being able to force game 6 back on home ice. And oh, there it is, 4-1. Jack Hughes, power play marker, and we will have a game 6. New York is carrying all the momentum in the world heading into this game, and it's showing a 3-0 lead here in the third period. Leon Draisaitl gets the Oilers on the board. They're not out of it. There it is. Jeff Skinner makes it a 1-goal game, and now the Rangers, they get quiet. They get nervous. They start quaking in their boots as they try to hold on to a 1-goal lead. 5 minutes left to go in the third period. Will they force a game 7? And it looks like we will have a do-or-die game for the second Cup final in the row. Last year, it was Buffalo and the Jets. This season, we got the Oilers and the Rangers as Edmonton holds on to a 3-2 lead here in the third. They were up 3-0, even worse than last season, to be honest. The New York Rangers already have all the momentum, winning 3 in a row after losing the first 3 of the series. They tie the game up. Mika Zibanejad on Stuart Skinner, the best goaltender in the world. 4 minutes left to go. Sam Carrick might have just scored the game winner for the Stanley Cup. Unless something else changes here with 42 seconds left to go, the New York Rangers might have just completed the best comeback in NHL history. And the Oilers, the biggest collapse in NHL history. Never mind. Victor Arvidsson right away will put that shit to bed, tying the game up at 4 apiece. Well, I guess my worst nightmare is about to unfold in front of my eyes. More overtime and watching the computers go back to back. Jack Hughes walking and loses it to Matthias Ekholm. Maybe the Oilers can't cook up something here. Jeff Skinner loses it to, I believe that is Keandre Miller behind the net. Draisaitl out in front. That was literally the worst shot he could have had, but Igor on Leon Draisaitl absolutely robs him. Not a lot of time left here in the third period. 15 seconds to go. Adam Fox skates it up. Let's see. There's one final rush. What can the New York Rangers do? Artemi Panarin just straight up loses it. And it looks like we are going to have overtime in Game 7 unless Zach Hyman comes in and rips it. He will not. Here we go. Overtime in Game 7. Do or die. Whoever scores, obviously, will go on and win the Stanley Cup in the third and final season of the video. The loser, if it's Edmonton, they're going to feel really bad. If it's the Rangers, I mean, I've been there before. You saw it, my Oilers. Artemi Panarin coming in. He should have honestly passed that over to Adam Fox. I don't know what he was thinking. Breadman back to the point to Fox, ripping it. And Skinner will make the blocker save again to the point. Where's the defenseman at? Why was he not on the wall there? Chris Kreider looking over to Breadman. Over to Keandre Miller. The computers have no idea what they want to do with the puck right now. Come on, move that up, Keandre. What are you doing? Like, what are you waiting for? Jeff Skinner coming in. Skinner over to Hyman. And they don't even get a shot on net. Oh my God, there it is. Again, Skinner. I don't know why Skinner just can't raise the puck off the ice, perhaps. I mean, you're a National Hockey League player. That should be, at bare minimum, very easy to do. Vinny Trocheck over. The 1-2 was there for 57, but unfortunately for the Rangers, they get a counterattack here. Matthias Ekholm walking in. Ekholm looking. He's looking for somebody behind the net in front. Eichel ripping it. Rebound. Igor was there every day of the week and twice on Sundays. That was not going in. 2-on-1. Zibanejad with 57. He doesn't get the pass over. Who is this job? Quinton Byfield, right. This guy's a monster. He looks like a giant out there. A man amongst boys. Byfield playing it down low. He doesn't get it to go, though. Out to Jack Eichel. Former Buffalo Sabre, former Vegas Golden Knight. To Sagan coming in, gets absolutely dummied by the Trouba train. And the Rangers will counterattack Smith. Riley Smith. I think it's Riley Smith. I don't even know. Over to Cullo. Shooting. Actually, it might be Will Smith, if I'm not mistaken. Hedl again. Where are we going? Nurse. Up to Adam Henrique. Over to Landy. Gabriel Landeskog coming down the wing. Over to Victor Arvidsson, and they're offside. I think we may have had like 2-3 shots, maybe bare minimum, from the computers here in the overtime frame. I'm hoping somebody can score. I don't even care who scores at this point. Smith dumps it in deep on a 2-on-2. Very interesting play there. Emerson gets board played. Moves it up to Walter Arvidsson, who did tie the game up for the Oilers. Up to Evander Kane. No, that's Darnell Nurse. My bad. Can somebody please score? Okay, good. We get a power play. The New York Rangers are headed to the PP because Adam Henrique, unfortunately, he slashed somebody. Do I just pull the empty net and maybe even force a goal to go in for the Edmonton Oilers here on the penalty kill? Kulak wins the draw, and he's going to dump it down deep. If they don't score, I'm literally going to blow my brains out. Adam Fox, where are you going? Move it up to Zibanejad. Here we go. Let's get some nice creativity in the offensive zone here, Rangers. Shooting! Easy save by Skinner, though. 4:17 left to go in the overtime frame. Oh my God, Zibanejad partying all summer. Might have packed on some muscle there, bodying that defenseman. Artemi Panarin, where are you going? Redman moves it over to Vinny Trocheck to Fox. Okay, the Rangers are moving around, but their power play is in fact over. Artemi cooking. What? Oh my God, Panarin, do something, dude. Fox over to Zibanejad, tip in front. Come on, boys. Somebody bear the puck. Skinner moves it up to Shaq Hyman. Does he have the game winner on his stick? No, he does not. He gets stripped like a hooker. Dear God, Adam Fox using his great skating ability. Why would he do that? In the middle, Zibanejad! And a great blocker save by Stewart Skin Daddy Skinner. Nurse moves it up to Dry. No energy at all. Draisaitl over Shaq Hyman. Game winner, series winner, and a golden goal as the Edmonton Oilers will not choke away a 3-0 series lead. And who else would it be than Shaq Hyman to win it for the Oilers? Even without Connor McDavid, Obviously, they picked up Gabriel Landeskog and Jack Eichel. They get the job done here in the third and final season after damn near blowing and having the worst collapse of all time in Stanley Cup final history. We got Leon winning the Conn Smythe. He had a very good playoff run, 12 goals and 35 points. As we now have Evan Bouchard as the newest captain of the Oilers, he will go up and collect the Stanley Cup as Edmonton in year number 3. They have gone all the way and get it done. Even without Connor McDavid, somehow, some way, almost damn near blowing the biggest lead in history in the Cup Finals. They are Stanley Cup champions. How long does it take an expansion team to win the Stanley Cup in NHL 25? Now, we did this in 23, we did it in 24, so it's only fair that we do it here in the newest NHL game that got released. Basically, what we're going to do is I'm going to be putting the Chicago Coyotes in the NHL and let the computers take over, build the team completely. I'm just going to simulate, and we are going to see how long it takes them to go on and eventually, hopefully, win a Stanley Cup in the simulation. We only have 25 years total before we do get kicked out of franchise mode, so hopefully it'll be done before then. We are rocking with these nice clean jerseys for the Chicago Coyotes. Move over, Bedard. You have some competition, and there are the away jerseys as well. Now, the only helping that I am going to be doing here is drafting some of these players in the expansion draft just to set a good base for the computers to work with. I don't want them to just absolutely whiff on some of these. I'm not saying I'm going to do all of them, but I am definitely going to help them out a little bit. So here is the year number 1 Chicago Coyotes. Some of the picks that I did make was Spencer Knight, Jared Spurgeon. I made sure to get Capo Caco, Romanoff. I try to go with some younger players. Matthias Ekholm as well. He's a little bit on the older side, but you want to have some overall and trade value to your players. I also took Brandon Carlo. Casey Middlestaff from Colorado was a good one. Hoglander. So this is what our roster is currently looking like. We will monitor this over time and see what changes, see if the computers can actually bring in some decent players. Not really the greatest forward core. Our best player is Casey Middlestat or maybe Gustav Nyquist. They're both at an 86 overall. Defensively, we're honestly not that bad. We got Spurgeon, Ekholm, Moser, Carlo, Joka Harju, and Nicholas Haig. A pretty good D-core. And we have Casey DeSmith as our starting goalie with Spencer Knight, who's very young. I believe medium elite potential. He does have that, so hopefully he can grow into that number 1 goalie that we need him to be, and the computers do not let him walk. Now, at the end of our first season, surprisingly, we actually did pretty good. 40, 35, and 7 record of 87 points. We almost actually made the postseason, 3 away from catching Dallas, who had 90. Colorado, oh my God, they had 130 points in our division, and for the entire NHL, they were the best by far. 10 more wins than the second place Oilers. That is crazy. Individually, Casey Middlestat had a great season. 29 goals, 84 points. Perron had 71. Nyquist had 28 goals. Hoglander was decent. I mean, we had a lot of depth on our team, but the top-end talent just isn't there. And Casey DeSmith, 34 wins, 7 shutouts, and a .914 save percentage. So Spencer Knight barely even played, but Casey was our guy. Leon Draisaitl will have the most goals. Psych, it was Kirill Kaprizov who had 63 on the season, but Leon would have the most points at 145, a career high for the big German. Georgiev set a new record for the most wins in a season with 53, and the most shutouts would go to Casey DeSmith, tied alongside Peter Mrazek, who both had 7 apiece. The Carolina Hurricanes will get it done as they defeat Vegas in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. Your mom's a hoe. Sebastian Aho had the most points at 29 in the playoffs. Jack Eichel had 27. Marshy 26. Stone had a good playoff run. Svechnikov had 13 goals. McDavid will win the Lindsay and the Hart Trophy. Never mind. Draisaitl will take home the Hart and the Art Ross. Kaprizov the Maurice Richard. Makar will win the Norris. Aho the Conn Smythe. Georgiev somehow, some way will take home the Vezina. And we got Kopitar winning the Selke. Calgary won the draft lottery via the New Jersey Devils. They moved up from 7th place all the way to 1. Then we got San Jose and St. Louis all in the top 3 for Chicago. I don't know which one, if we are 15th or 16th, but we are definitely one of those. Heading into our second season as a franchise, our first line's pretty good. We got Hoglander, Middlestat, and Perron. Middlestat up to an 88 overall after the big season he had. It doesn't look like we made too many changes, at least offensively. Wise Capo Caco rotting away on the 4th line. He's not going to be able to grow if we have him down there defensively. Ekholm is still there with Brandon Carlo. We got Spurgeon, Moser, same exact D-core, which is honestly pretty good. And Casey DeSmith is officially the backup. Spencer Knight's up to an 86, so he should start at least a majority of the games. It has only taken us 2 seasons to get the Coyotes to the playoffs, 43, 35, and 4, 90 points on the season. A very good record, as Dallas was the best team in our division for the entire NHL. It was also the Stars, as they had 53 wins. If we take a look at the bottom of the league, Seattle only had 26. They were by far the worst. 64 points on the year, followed by San Jose and Calgary. Who knew as a number 1 centerman that Casey Middlestat would be this good? 27 goals, 87 points. Nyquist had 70, also a 33-goal season. We got Alexander Kerfoot putting up career highs. David Perron is still good. Hoglander was decent. And if we take a look at Spencer Knight, he rocked a .913 and 7 shutouts. So he essentially gave us what Casey DeSmith gave us last season at only 24 years old, 87 overall. He's only going to get better as well. Connor McDavid will have the most points in the league at 131, one more than Jason Robertson, who did have 130, and the most goals will go to Robertson. He put up 70 on the season, the first 70-goal scorer, and I don't even know how long. McDavid had 65, .58, Bedard 53, and Barkov. We literally straight up bullied the Dallas Stars in 5 games in the first round, as we now move on to Colorado here in round number 2. We got rid of the Avs, and now in the conference finals, we face the Vegas Golden Cheaters. And in a Game 7 scenario, we lost 4-3. We literally took the Golden Knights to 7 games, making the conference final in only our second season, as they now move on to face Florida. And the winner of that obviously will take home the Stanley Cup. Overall, a very, very good playoff run. I was not expecting that, as the Florida Panthers win their second Stanley Cup within like 3 seasons. Robertson will take home the Ted Lindsay and the Maurice Richard, while the Art Ross and Hart Trophy will go to McDavid, Adam Fox, the Norris, Sam Reinhart will win the Conn Smythe, Markstrom the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Sidney Crosby. The computer's doing a pretty damn good job at building the lineup. We have pretty much the same team. I think we picked up Mason Marchman, who's an 85 overall. He'll be on that third line. Capo Caco is growing to an 86. We got Middlestat at an 89. Pretty good forward core. Defensively, we are still rolling with the exact same D-core. And for Spencer Knight, he is now up to a 90 overall at 25 years old. So hopefully, I mean, we made the conference finals, went to a Game 7, damn near made the Cup finals. One of these seasons, we might actually get it done. It might not take as long as I thought it would. Although then again, I could be wrong, and EA Sports will just make me sit here for 25 more years watching us lose year after year. I also believe it is time to set some captaincies here. Matthias Ekholm, no. I'm going to give it to Casey Middlestat. This guy's been our best player 3 years in a row. He will get the C. I'll give Ekholm an A. And I guess I will roll with Gustav Nyquist with the other A, considering he's been pretty good over the sim too. Well, I guess the natural regression was going to come in at some point, as we were literally the worst team in the Central. 31, 43, and 8, 70 points on the season. We were definitely playing higher than what our roster said it was, as Dallas was the best team, winning 60 games in our division, and the Florida Panthers, the defending champs, won 61 this season. And taking a look at our individual statistics, yeah, Middlestat went down to like 67 points. Nyquist was a bum, although he did score 30 goals. Hoglander, everybody pretty much took a step back, and I'm guessing Spencer Knight did too. No, not really. A 911 save percentage, less shutouts just because we were not as good of a team. 3 goals against per game, but I'm going to live with a 911 save percentage from my starting goalie. I never really get this here in NHL video games. Connor McDavid was on one this season. He would have the most goals at 65 and the most points at 143 in the entire league. The Dallas Stars would dominate Montreal in the Cup Finals to win their first Stanley Cup in a long-ass time. It's been like 3 decades at this point, as Montreal, again, another Cup Final loss where they just get completely and utterly destroyed. Wyatt Johnston, dear God, what a pickup for Dallas this guy was. 10 goals, 30 points in the postseason. Draisaitl had 29, although he only played 16 games. Hyman 29, Robertson was good, McDavid. So the Oilers, they had a playoff run, but no Stanley Cup yet again. McDavid will take home all the individual awards. The Norris will go to Cale Makar. Wyatt Johnston, the Conn Smythe. Ottinger will take home the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Robert Thomas. Okay, I'm not going to freak out here. It says Chicago won the draft lottery. I am praying it is us. It's the only Chicago team here, so I am guessing it is going to be the Coyotes and not the Blackhawks. You bet your ass I am not letting the computers absolutely whiff on this pick. Who's the... Oh, Landon Dupont, franchise medium offensive defenseman. He's labeled a gem. Welcome to Chicago. That should definitely speed up our rebuild. He's going to start out at an 80 overall. Offensively, I don't think a lot of changes have been made. We still got Middlestat, who actually decreased to an 87 overall. Kind of came back down to earth. Hoglander's an 88. Capo Caco, 86. The rest of our offensive core isn't great, but we got Landon DuPont, baby. Throw him up on that first line D pair with Matthias Ekholm. Let him mold. Let him learn from a veteran defenseman at 37 years old, and this guy's going to be our future captain in a few seasons. And Spencer Knight himself, I mean, he's a 90 overall, so he's going to be good for at least 4 to 5 more seasons until he starts aging out, as goalies do tend to age a little bit earlier than players. We are still not really a horrible team, but we aren't very good. Not good enough to make the playoffs. At least 38, 41, and 3, 79 points, 8th in the Central Division. As if we take a look here, Dallas yet again were the best team. They won 55 games. I believe they won the Stanley Cup as well, and they won the President's Trophy, so they are at the top of the hockey world at the moment. Offensively, we definitely took a step back. I mean, we got Capo Caco as our leading scorer now, 31 goals, 69 points. Middlestat's a shell of what he used to be. Hoglander's decent, I guess. Landon DuPont as a rookie, honestly, was not that bad. He had 16 goals and 46 points, but he was a minus 15 on not a very great Chicago team. And Spencer Knight, despite the 5 shutouts, only had a 904 save percentage. Leon Draisaitl had the most points in the NHL at 126, and the most goals will go to Kaprizov, who had 58 on the year. The Dallas Stars will go back-to-back as they just barely beat Detroit in the Stanley Cup Finals in Game 7, but they got the job done, so that's all that matters. Draisaitl will take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Kaprizov, the Maurice Richard, Makar, another Norris. We got Wyatt Johnston, back-to-back Conn Smythes, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen in the Vezina, and for the Selke, it will go to JT Miller. It looks like we are pretty much running back the exact same team. Our first line hasn't changed in a while, so it doesn't look like we picked up anybody in the offseason, free agency, or via trade. Landon DuPont, get the hell up there. He's up to an 89 overall, and the dude is only 19 years old. This guy is literally the future of this franchise, and a Stanley Cup is riding on his shoulders. Spencer Knight dropped down to an 89 after a rough season. Hopefully he can recover and get back to that 90 overall form. And I believe it is time for a new captain here in Chicago. And of course, it would be Landon DuPont, C, number 10. I'll leave the A's the way it is with Hoglander and Nyquist. Actually, screw Gustav Nyquist. I will give the A to Casey Middlestat, the former captain of our team, just out of respect. Another losing season in Chicago as we try to recover from whatever the hell this is. 37, 40, and 5, 79 points. Second worst in our division. As the Dallas Stars might be a dynasty, 58 wins at the top of our division and the entire NHL. They are scary right now. Really, only Landon DuPont is our only hope for this team. He had 14 goals, 77 points, leading our squad. He was a minus 21, which is tough, but still. Capo Caco had 69. Hoglander wasn't very good. Middlestat's a bum now, and Kerfoot is Alexander Kerfoot. Now, Spencer Knight, I mean, a 909 save percentage isn't bad. 3 shutouts is all right. 31 wins, But I cannot complain. I've seen worse numbers than that over my time of being a GM. Leon Draisaitl, 131 points, leading all skaters. And we got David Pasternak having the most goals at 61. The Detroit Red Wings would end up going on and winning the Stanley Cup, dominating Colorado in 5 games as Dallas did not make it back there and did not win another one, thank God. Leon Draisaitl is in fact him, taking home the Ted Lindsay, Hart, and Art Ross. Cale Makar will take home the Norris. We got Lucas Raymond, the Conn Smythe, Carter Hart, the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Robert Thomas. I can't even cap. I knew coming into this that the computers wouldn't make a lot of moves, and I don't think they've made a single move so far. Our team is getting worse and worse, at least offensively, year by year. We got Landon DuPont up to a 93. Throw him up on that first line with J.J. Moser. The rest of our decor is pretty okay. It's mid, and Spencer Knight hasn't grown. He's still an 89 overall after having a pretty mid-season himself. Despite the fact that we actually did have a winning record and missed out on the playoffs by only 2 points. I mean, 44, 31, and 7 is a decent record, but Winnipeg just snuck in before us. Another season where the Chicago Coyotes really cannot compete for a Stanley Cup as the Dallas Stars. I mean, how many President's Trophies you guys gonna win? Landon DuPont is still our best player on our team by a large margin, 86 points and 19 goals. Middlestat had a little bit of a comeback season, 71 points. Capo Caco, I mean, he was decent. Hoglander, And for Spencer Knight, a 907 save percentage. I'm not going to complain, although I wish it was above a 910. He only had one shutout as well, so I don't think he's really helping us out too much, although there's not a great team in front of him. Wyatt Johnston, 124 points, the most in the NHL. And we got Kirill Kaprizov having the most goals at 65, tied alongside Mikko Rantanen. We had 3 60-goal scorers in the NHL this season, and how many 50? Like 10 50-goal scorers. I can't even lie. The scoring in this game is absolutely insane. We went from the Stars dynasty to now the Red Wings dynasty as they go back-to-back, beating Dallas in 6 games in the Stanley Cup Finals. Jason Robertson will win the Ted Lindsay and Hart Trophy. Art Ross to Wyatt Johnston, and Kaprizov to Maurice Richard. Makar, another Norris. We got DeBrincat winning the Conn Smythe. Jake Ottinger will take home the Vezina. And the Selke will go to Filppula of the Utah Hockey Club. Finally, the computers made a move. We signed Anton Lundell in the offseason. What do we sign him to here? An $11.7 million deal for a 28-year-old that's only, what, an 89 overall? Oh my God, we are going to be cooked. If we can't win a Stanley Cup within like the first 5 years of that deal, we are cooked. Landon DuPont, 94 overall. This guy's a unit. And if we take a look in goal, Spencer Knight is still an 89 overall. So he did not improve. It looked like he's going to cap off at an 89, but we got to rely on DuPont and I guess Anton Lundell, who we're handing over like half our salary to. Years are going by in the simulation, and the Chicago Coyotes are just wasting them. 35, 35, and 12, 82 points. We haven't made the playoffs, which has felt like a decade by this time. Dallas, I mean, I want to know what's in the water. 59 wins. You guys have been awesome. And another President's Trophy. Landon DuPont will have his first 100-point season of his career. 15 goals, 85 assists. The dude was a monster. Niels Hoglander, he had 30 goals himself. I mean, Capo Caco had 34. Outside of that, nobody else really produced that much. Goaltending-wise, Spencer Knight, only 29 wins, 2 shutouts, and he's kind of fallen off a cliff, I'm not going to lie. He's still technically an 89 overall, but his best seasons were literally like the early ones where he rocked like a 913, 912. Those were the seasons where we had a chance to actually win the Stanley Cup. Sebastian Aho will have the most points at 126, and the most goals will go to Brock Besser at 34 years old. Will put up 71 goals, by far a career high. And this is what I mean. It seems like the simulation is on steroids in this game. 71 goals for a 34-year-old is crazy. I would really like to know how many 34-plus-year-olds have scored 70 in NHL history. I bet the list is very, very small, if any, because that is no spring chicken. A 34-year-old usually is on the decline, but Brock Besser, I guess, has other plans to put up over 70 goals. The Red Wings are back to their glory days, as they have just won 3 Stanley Cups in a row. They dominated Minnesota and clearly are the best team in the NHL at the moment. Individually, we got Wyatt Johnston winning the Ted Lindsay and the Hart Trophy, Aho the Art Ross, best of the Maurice Richard, Landon DuPont, his very first Norris Trophy. The Conn Smythe will go to JT Compher, Ottinger the Vezina, and the Selke again to Filppula. And we are really coming to realize why this is a video. The computers don't move any players. They don't make any moves. Even with the everything on auto, we still are running back basically the same exact roster. And we are paying a 29-year-old at 87 overall. Almost damn near $12 million, which is absolutely wild. Although we do got Landon DuPont, basically the only bright side of this franchise right now. But you know what? I am going to put my trust into Landon DuPont. I believe in this guy. I believe he's the best defenseman in the world, maybe the best player in the world. And I think he's going to bring a Stanley Cup here to the city of Chicago. Obviously not the Blackhawks, but instead the Coyotes. And hopefully that will come very, very soon. I don't even know how many years we're in at this point. We're in 2031, so almost 10 years in. We still have a decent 15 more years to go before franchise mode literally kicks me out. So we could be sitting here a while. So sit back, relax, and grab your popcorn. And also, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? I post every single day. Also, basically live stream every single day. Make sure you have notifications on so you get notified when I do those 2 things. Not a surprise, as the Chicago Coyotes were the worst team in the Central Division. We probably had our worst record so far with only 27 wins. Yes, 27. Individually, outside of Landon DuPont, we absolutely suck. We had one 50-point scorer, and that was the damn near $12 million man in Anton Lundell, who, by the way, has a no-movement trade clause. He cannot be moved during his length of his contract, which is just absolutely great. And in goal, Spencer Knight actually had a decent season. 910 save percentage, 4 shutouts. Too goddamn bad that we were not a good team, that we can't compete for a fucking Stanley Cup. Oh my God. Kirill Kaprizov, you were going to light the lamp, brother. 68 goals leading there. And he also had the most points at 139. The Carolina Hurricanes will beat my Oilers in 6 games in the finals to go on and win the goddamn cup. Kirill Kaprizov might be the best player in the world right now. Cale Makar, another Norris Trophy. Seth Jarvis won the Conn Smythe, Ottinger the Vezina, and Filppula will win 3 straight Selke trophies. Oh my God, I don't know if it's us or the Blackhawks, but I am relying on the fact that the Chicago Coyotes literally just won the draft lottery, so hopefully we can pick a franchise player that can help out Landon DuPont, and we can actually grow as a team. You already knew I was going to hop in here and make the pick for Chicago just to make sure they do not blow this, and I guess we got Alexei Semenov. I don't know if that's Belarus, but it's one of the foreign countries. Elite medium potential. He's a sniper. Let's see. 80 overall, elite medium. I will take that. Semenov, he's going to start on the first line. Obviously, he's a right shot, right winger, 18 years old, 5'10" sniper. Look at his shooting stats here. They're pretty decent, 85s across the board. So hopefully he can develop very nicely. And then we have another core piece that we can continue to build around as Landon DuPont, still a 94 overall, and Spencer Knight is an 89. If we really think about it, statistically speaking, one of these seasons have to be our year, right? We can't go full 25 years without at least one magical Stanley Cup run where we don't really belong, but the simulation engine is on our side and we just beat every juggernaut of a team in every single round. I think I might be just manifesting right now because I do not want to sit through 25 years of just losing. Finally, Chicago is somewhat of a good team again. 46, 31, and 5, 97 points, just barely squeaking into the postseason. Minnesota, goddamn, they had 59 wins on the season and they were the best team in the entire league. Landon DuPont will have a career high 24 goals, 103 points, leading this team. Hoglander had 69. Middlestead was good. Semenov, I mean, a decent rookie year, 23 goals, 56 points. And if we take a look at Spencer Knight, there it is, a .913 save percentage. He also had 4 shutouts and 37 wins. Connor McDavid is finally simulating like he should, leading in goals with 68, and he also had the most points at 145. And now, since we're finally back in the playoffs, the bad news is we got to face the Minnesota Wild in round number 1. I believe they won 59 games this season or last season. They're a literal unit of a team. Somehow, we literally destroyed Minnesota in the first round, dominating them in 4 straight games as we move on to Dallas now here in round number 2. We go to 7 with Dallas, but luckily dominate them 5-1, and now the Edmonton Oilers in the conference finals. It's going to be a tough matchup up against Leon and McDavid. And in a game 7 scenario, the Chicago Coyotes have done it all. Not at all, obviously. We still have the Stanley Cup finals to go to, but we have beat the Edmonton Oilers, a 59 win team. If we go on and actually get the job done and win the Stanley Cup, this might be the literal hardest path ever to a Stanley Cup in NHL history. The teams that we are facing are all legit juggernauts in the Western Conference. And there is our captain, Landon DuPont, baby. Oh, he looks good in that uniform. And now we get to play for Lord Stanley. And now in the finals, we're up against the Philadelphia Flyers, who do have Matvei Mishkov, who I believe is leading the playoffs in scoring at the moment. So we got to be on our P's and Q's, on our A game, and get our head out of our ass. And finally, after many, many seasons, the Chicago Coyotes will go all the way. Finally, in the finals, too, we didn't have to play a legit juggernaut super team as the Flyers. They got bested in 5 games. It looks like Chicago players do not even want to... Oh, wait, there they are. They're at the wrong end of the ice. What is going on? Of course, I'm kidding. I know that glitch is still in the game after 2 patches. They got to fix that shit. We cannot go full season with that being in the game, as Semenov, as a rookie, will have 12 goals, 27 points, and he will take home the Conn Smythe Trophy. Unbelievable. This dude literally walked into the National Hockey League this season and already has a Conn Smythe under his belt, as well as a Stanley Cup. There it is. For an expansion team that the computers built, I mean, it took a little bit. I'll have to go back and count the seasons, but I think we're almost 10 years in, right? And there is our captain, Landon DuPont, the franchise defenseman that we drafted many, many years ago, finally being able to raise the Stanley Cup for the Coyotes here in Chicago, not the United Center. So EA Sports just added in the PWHL to NHL 25. So we're going to be going ahead and simulating a full season, see what happens. So first off, we got to go ahead and take a look at the teams. There are 6 different teams in the PWHL currently. We got the Boston Fleet, the Minnesota Frost, the Montreal Victory, New York Sirens, the Ottawa Charge, and the Toronto Scepters. Starting off on Boston, their best player is Hilary Knight. I am familiar with her, as well as Marie-Philippe Poulin, 92 overall, tied for the highest in the league, I believe. They do have Alina Muller is on the team, and honestly, their roster, they got some high overalls. An 83 on the third line is kind of crazy, I'm not going to lie. Might move her up to the second line, but some decent overalls. Defensively, Megan Keller is their best defender at a 91 overall, and in goal, they're rocking with, oh my god, a 91 starter and an 86 backup. That is not even bad. Also, why is the menu system even slower with the PWHL? What is going on, EA Sports? For Minnesota, I mean, they got 291 overalls on the first line in Taylor Heiss and Kendall Coyne, who I believe might have went off last season. Oh, okay. Well, these stats are not even being tracked, so I can't even see what happened this past season. I believe it was the inaugural season in the PWHL. But Minnesota has some top-end talent up front. Defensively, a 91 overall Lee Stecklin. I'm probably absolutely butchering these names. I apologize for that. And in goal, an 89 overall starter, Montreal Le Montreal. Up front, have Marie-Philippe Poulin, 93 overall. I think she is the highest in the game, if I'm not mistaken, for the PWHL. And everybody else surrounding her, honestly, isn't that great if we're being real. Defensively, they don't have anybody outside of a... Oh, well, wait a minute. They got Kayla Barnes and also Aaron Ambrose, both a 91 overall piece, so their decor is looking filthy. And they get a 91 starting goalie and Anne Renee Desbens. The New York Sirens have Alex Carpenter as their first line center, 89 overall. They got some depth, I mean 87 on the second, 88, but their top end talent kind of is lacking compared to the rest of the league, although they got a good first line D pair. Even their top third defenseman and Ella Shelton has an 87 overall. And in goal, their goalies really aren't as strong as the other teams we've looked at so far. Abby Levy, 86 overall as the starter and an 87 as your backup. So honestly, they're probably going to end up rotating the games between these two ladies right here. Ottawa will have a 92 overall Brianne Jenner. Holy hell, she's going to be putting up a lot of points. Also an 87 alongside her. Second line center with an 86. 85 as your third line center is not even bad. So Ottawa's surrounding talent isn't great, but they got some good superstars that could produce. Defensively, they're not really good if I'm being real. And in goal, we're looking at an 89 overall starter with an 86 backup. And finally, for the Toronto Sirens, I believe their names are, or no, the Scepters, my bad. They do have Sarah Nurse up front at a 91. Spooner is a 91 as well. Their second line isn't even that bad with Turnbull, Gosling, and Comfer. Third line looks very good as well, so maybe Toronto has the best roster in the entire PWHL. And on the back end, I mean, LaRock, fast, 88 and 92 overall apiece. And in goal, we're looking at Kristen Campbell, who is an 88 overall. So now that we know the entire roster, we are going to simulate to the end of the season and see who will go on, win the Walter Cup, but also make the playoffs. I don't know if every team makes it. It might just be 4 out of the 6 teams like they did with the original 6, but only time will tell. Hold up a minute. You can choose your playoff opponent for the first round between Boston and New York. I guess we'll go with the Boston Fleet. We shall see. Now, the PWHL, they play 30 games in a regular season. The Toronto Scepters, as I predicted, was the best team, 16-6-3-5. So they do regulation wins, overtime wins, regulation losses, and overtime losses. A little bit different from the NHL. Minnesota came second, Boston third, and New York fourth. So Ottawa and Montreal will both miss the postseason, as it is the top 4 teams that get into the playoffs. Susanna Tapany will lead the PWHL in scoring, 33 points on the year, over point per game. Spooner had 32. Hilary Knight was up there with 31. Sarah Nurse had 30 herself. Poulin, 29. Jenner, 28. So the offense right now isn't looking that incredible. Only a few players over point per game. And the most goals would be 14, a two-way tie between Leslie and Tapany, as Susanne was definitely the best player in the entire PWHL. Sarah Nurse was up there, as well as Hilary Knight, Spooner, Bika, Marchman, Poulin. For the defensemen, Fast will have the most points at 24. Thompson was up there with 22. Bell, 21. And Zandi Hart had 20. If we take a look at the goaltenders, Kristen Campbell, most wins. I mean, she was on Toronto, 18 on the season. The most shutouts will go to Frankel, who had 2, who had the best save percentage. It was Kristen Campbell with a 9-18. Hesley had 9-14. Phillips only played 5 games. Frankel had a 9-11. And here are the playoff matchups. So you play 2 rounds, and then you play 1 round and then get into the finals. But we are going to have a very quick playoff run here. So the 4 teams are going at it. Let's see who advances to the finals. So it looks like the first round is a best of 5. So we shall see what is going to happen between Boston and Toronto here. And then we have Minnesota versus New York. Both Minnesota and Boston are leading 2-0 in their series. So let's see if they can close it out here in game number 3. First period, a 2-1 lead for Toronto. Second period, and we got a tie game. I'm a little bit surprised, honestly, that Toronto's not winning their series against Boston. I thought they had by far the best team. And there we go. Woods will get on the board. She scores and gives Toronto the lead late in the third period. 4-2 lead. Connors will score. Give an insurance marker to Toronto, as it looks like we will have a game number 4 in this series. Minnesota also with the opportunity here to eliminate the New York City Sirens. They are leading 3-1 heading into the third. Let's see what they can do. 4-1 as Krizova will basically ice the game. I mean, not a lot of time remaining here for New York to cook, and I don't think they're going to do so. They had a power play. They whiffed on it. They do get a goal. Zandy Hart will score. So she brings her team back to within 2. They're back to within 1. Alex Carpenter, 1-goal lead late in the third period. Here we are in game 3. Obviously, New York season is on the line. They actually clawed their way back into the game, and it's a 1-goal affair here between the 2 teams. Lee coming in, dancing to the middle. Let's see if the computers play any differently compared to the NHL. What a big hit there. I did buff up the hitting. I want to see some big hits. There it is. Going back and forth. Lee, where are you going? 45 seconds to go. They're going to have to pull their goalie. New York is again. Okay, what? I guess the computers haven't really changed much. Buschenbeiner, they're behind the net to curl. Up to Zummel coming in. I'm butchering these names. Holy hell. There's an empty net. Empty net, and they will put it home. There it is. Zumwinkle will score for Minnesota, as they're pretty much going to wrap up their first playoff series, as the Minnesota Frost will advance to the PWHL finals as they beat the Sirens in 3 straight games, sweeping them, and very clearly they were the better team between the 2. Obviously, New York made it a game at the end, but they could not claw all the way back. They ended up losing 5-3, despite being down 4-1. They gave it their all, but could not come back in the process. Also, I'm interested to see, where do these teams play? Are they just playing in NHL arenas? I can't really tell. Is that the Devils Arena? Is this Prudential Center in New Jersey? Why would New York play in New Jersey? Or maybe they actually do, instead of playing in like Madison Square Garden or so. Oh yeah, it definitely is the Devils. There we go. All right, we know Toronto is down 2-1 in their series, trying to tie it up and force a game number 5. We got a tie game in the third, thanks to Rattery. I am total, man, I'm bad with names. I apologize. It's not just PWHL. I go to pretty much any league, and if I don't know how to say your name, it's going to be tough. Carter will score and take the lead for Toronto late in the third period. Shots are 37-20. They're definitely outplaying them. And it looks like we will indeed have a Game 5 back in Toronto. All right, here we go. Winner take all. Game 7 in Toronto. Oh my God, it's a 5-0 lead for the Toronto Scepters. They were down 2-0 in this series. They're on the verge of being swept, and it looks like they're going to win 3 straight. The comeback kids, and they are just going to dominate Boston, as the Toronto Scepters will make it to the PWHL finals up against the Minnesota Frost. They came back down 2-0 in the series, and a historic collapse for Boston. Some things don't change. The Bruins back in 2022 or 23, whatever the hell that was. And now we got the Boston in the PWHL blowing a 2-0 series lead. And the Toronto Scepters now will face Minnesota in the PWHL finals. Here we go. Game 1 PWHL finals, and the Toronto Scepters will dominate 7-2, absolutely blowing out Minnesota from a plethora of goals here. Sarah Nurse chipped in. Turnbull was there. Woods, Spooner. They were just clearly the better team. The finals are also a best of 5 here in the PWHL. We got a 1-1 tie heading into the third between Minnesota and Toronto. Shots are 23-17. There it is. Brown will score, and Heiss as well, giving Minnesota a 3-1 lead. 4-1 Flathery will score, and they have just dominated this third period, blowing out Toronto, and they will tie the series up at 1. A very pivotal game number 3 here in the PWHL Finals. We got a 3-2 advantage for Toronto in the third period. They're out shooting them 31-21, so it seems like the momentum is shifting back and forth per game here. Both teams were clearly better in their victories, and right now we finally got a close game. Third period, 5-4 power play for Minnesota. They can't do anything on the PP as Toronto trying to hold on to a 1-goal lead, and they will take a 2-1 series lead and be 1 win away now from winning the title. Here we go. Toronto holds a 2-1 series lead, a possibility of raising the Walter Cup here in Minnesota, but not if the Frost have anything. Never mind. Spooner will score and tie the game up. Is that Natalie Spooner? I'm pretty sure I've heard of her before. Regardless, she ties the game up and gets her team back in it. As we got a very close affair. Never mind. Cava will take the lead from Minnesota late in the third period, trying to force a Game 5 back in Toronto. They will do so. They will hang on, and we have a Game 5 winner take all. Here we go. Game 5 winner take all. The winner will win, obviously, the Walter Cup, and the Sirens right now, or Sirens, Scepters, have a 2-1 lead heading into the third. I'm getting new to the names here. Last season, they only had the Brown will score on Campbell and tie the game up. 5 minutes remaining in the third between Toronto and Minnesota. A very close game. Oh no, are we going to have overtime? Okay, we will indeed have OT. Well, there was only one way for this to end, and it was Game 5 in the finals in overtime. Toronto and Minnesota. The next goal wins the championship. Let's see, Stecklin coming down the wing. What is she going to do? Cutting into the middle. Over to Coyne. Coyne back to the point to Heiss. Jacquez. Shoot. Okay, nobody's going to shoot the puck. It seems like not much has changed, and a great save by Campbell. 17:43. Tons of time in overtime. We could be here for a while. I'm not going to lie. Back to the point. Minnesota coming in. Stecklin shooting from the point. There's a rebound. Juicy rebound, but thankfully Toronto will clear the puck out. Natalie Spooner coming down the wing. Tries to rip a slap shot. I don't know what she was thinking there. Panic. Where are you going? Over to Coyne. Coyne loses it. Another turnover. As we are going back and forth here in overtime. Spooner over to back, over. What a save by the netminder. Nice passing play by Toronto, but they don't capitalize as Minnesota on the counterattack here. Where are they going? Panic, shooting, and Campbell's going to make the easy save. An offensive zone draw that they win. Minnesota doesn't get to capitalize though, Sarah Nurse. 2-on-1. Okay, why is she deking into the middle and just turning it over? She had a 2-on-1. Go! Over. Spooner coming in. Spooner cannot capitalize back. I don't know what kind of pass that was. Over to Nurse. Back to the point to Fast. Shooting. A great save by the netminder. A nice blocker save. Stecklin. Up to Jaquez. Over to who is that? That is Panic. Coming down the wing, loses it. Those floaty passes to the middle are just not going to work. The computers are going to pick that up every day of the week, twice on Sundays. It's never going to happen. Gosling, where are you going? Loses it. Over to Zellweger. She scored, I believe, the overtime winner possibly, or maybe the game or the empty net winner in the other game that we hopped in. Flanagan losing in the corner. Minnesota trying to capitalize up to Gosling. Here we go. 2-on-2 the other way for Toronto. Coming in. Shooting. Rebound. Full pressure, but they cannot capitalize. Minnesota's going to easily get that puck out of their zone. Moves it up to Krizova. Loses it as well. Oh, what a steal out in front. A great save by the goalie in Campbell, keeping Toronto's season alive and their hopes for a title alive as well. Flanagan, where are you going? Over to Turnbull. I got full pressure on, so Toronto should be pressing here. They should be trying to score, as both teams honestly should be. Here we go. Flanagan rushing the puck as a defenseman. Dumps it in deep. Makes the safe play. As so far, only about 2 good scoring chances for either team. Miller coming down the middle, and Hensley will make the save. Shots are 40-39 Minnesota, but none of that matters now. All it takes is one shot. Toronto, offensive zone draw. They win it. Back to Williams shooting. A nice save by Hensley. Getting bodied in the corner. Miller. Over to, who is that? Back to the point. Monroe coming in, and Hensley again. She will make the nice save. I am really hoping we're not going to have multiple overtime periods. Danielle! Oh my god, how did she not bury that, dude? A wide open, not a wide open net, but a wide open opportunity for Toronto as Campbell's going to make the easy save there. 48 seconds remaining in the first overtime frame in Game 5. Do or die time. Why are you taking a slap shot? Minnesota trying to get some offense. Coming in, shooting. And a nice save again by Campbell. 35 seconds to go. 2-on-1 action in the corner. Pause. Danielle, we got an odd-man rush. Okay, never mind. She was kind of offside there. Williams coming in. Where's Williams going to go? Over to Danielle. Over to... Man, they're just getting laid out. Nobody's scoring. We're not having great offensive chances. Either team. Miller again takes it over to Monroe. One final rush perhaps for Toronto. Let's see what they can do in the middle of the Nurse. Sarah Nurse gets bodied and does not get the shot off. Stecklin, oh my God, horrible turnover. Horrible, but they can't capitalize. Cava, great D, and we are headed to double OT. Here we go. Double overtime for the PWHL Cup, or the Walter Cup as it is called that. No score in OT number 1, and not a lot of chances of it being honest. Spooner coming in. Where's Spooner? Where's she going to go? Spooner waiting, holding up, back to the point. Shooting, and a great save by the netminder in goal. Hensley in the middle. Spooner again to the rock, to Fask. Shooting, and Hensley will make the save. And she's going to play it, being a little bit risky there, for being honest, in the Walter Cup Finals. DeQuise over to Cone. Does not get a shot on net. Oh, nice steal. Panic to Coyne again. Rings it off the bar, or did the netminder make the save? I have no idea. Fast moves that puck up. Come on, Toronto. You got to get out of the zone. The Toronto Scepters trying to win the Walter Cup. Coming down the middle. Where are you going, Heis? Deking into... she kind of did a good job there, although nobody picked up the puck for her. Over Gosling. Shooting. Rings it off the bar. Terrible. Toronto's this close. Empty net delay penalty. Gosling again. And there will be a power play for Toronto here in overtime number 2. A massive power play for the Scepters. They lose the draw, though. Thompson will dump it down the length of the ice, as Toronto's going to have to regroup here in the PP. A minute 30 to go. They just killed off 30 seconds there. Comfer moves it up to Turnbull. Coming into the zone. Turnbull trying to deke. She doesn't get to do it. Gosling in the middle. Turnbull shooting. Oh my God, that almost went in, dude. Nice pinch to the blue line. Comfer. Backdoor feed wasn't there. The defenseman picked up and intercepted the pass. As the power play is officially over, we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Bach over to Flanagan. Flanagan coming into the zone, waiting in the middle. Carter shooting, and yet again Hensley will make the save. A massive failure on the power play for Toronto. Shots are 46-43. Dear God. Back to the point. LaRocque over to Fast, ripping one. What a bomb. Spooner shooting. It's on the line, but it could not go over. Cava coming down the wing, or in the middle for Minnesota, shooting, and Campbell will make the save. 46 remaining to go in the second overtime. Offensive zone draw for Minnesota. Can they keep it in? They keep the puck in. They are going to keep the puck in, but they're not getting any offense really at all. They did have to kill a little bit. Sarah Nurse coming down. Nice stride deke over to Spooner. Shooting again. Hensley will make the save. Just easy save after easy save. We got to have some sort of an overtime winner here soon. Danielle down low to Miller. Out in front. What a save by Hensley in goal. Saving Minnesota Steven. The netminders are standing on their head right now. I'm not even going to lie. Cava over to Sheepers. Doesn't get a shot on net. Danielle or Daniel. I honestly have no idea. LaRocque moves it up too fast. Coming down the wing, taking her time in the middle. There it is, backdoor feed, and there it is. The Toronto Scepters down 2-0 in the first round. Does not matter. They come back, they go to the Walter Cup Finals, and they will beat the Minnesota Frost for the very first simulation here in the PWHL and NHL 25. Toronto, I guess the mecca of the hockey world. I mean, in the NHL, the Maple Leafs are definitely the most popular team, and now the Toronto Scepters might have that same legacy here in the PWHL. They're the Walter Cup champions. It went to a Game 5, a sudden death double overtime, so it was a back-and-forth series. Either team could have won it, and unfortunately for Minnesota, they are going to have to go home unhappy, and the party shall begin here in Toronto. We're not playing the Air Canada Centre. It looks like we're in a junior rink right now, so I'm actually kind of confused on who's playing in NHL rinks and who isn't here in the PWHL. Funny enough, this cup celebration is actually longer than the Stanley Cup one that we have in the NHL. And there it is. I believe that is the Walter Cup, as Miller will come on up to raise it for the first time, I believe, in franchise history. There it is, as the PWHL is alive and well. And the Toronto Scepters are your Walter Cup champions as they raise that trophy around the ice. In the postseason, Hannah Miller was the leading scorer. She had 9 points in the playoffs in 10 games. Spooner had 8, Hayes 8, Sarah Nurse had 8, and Watts 8 as well. I have created the worst hockey team in NHL history. Starting on the back end, we have Le Goat, Le Cap, Le GM, Le Daddy, the kid from Akron, hashtag strive for greatness, and LeBron Raymond James. Moving on to his D partner, we have the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, and of course he has to be sponsored by Popeyes. On the left wing, we have the Champ, the founder of the proper number 12 Irish whiskey mate, the notorious Conor McGregor. On the other wing, we have the man who has the same amount of career goals as me in Paul Bizanet, Biz Nasty. Up the middle, we needed a leader, a man of the people, so we brought back not the 45th, but the 47th president of the United States in Donald Trump. And finally in goal, we have the largest person on this earth, none other than Kyle Big Belly Pelly, sponsored by diabetes. And we are going to see how truly bad this team can be if they played the entire game, no line changes whatsoever. Now, of course, our lineup is only going to consist of 5 different players. We got Trump down the middle with Paul Bizanet and Conor McGregor on his wings. Biz, I mean, he's going to be a 76 overall, so he's by far the best player on this team. He might actually simulate pretty well, and these three are going to play in every single forward line defensively. We got Shaq and LeBron pairing up. They're also going to play the entire game, and of course, Smelly Pelly, Big Belly Telly in goal at a 45 overall. 6'4", 262. The dude is going to take up the entire width of the net and should be able to stop a lot of pucks theoretically, although his skill level really isn't that high. Of course, the 4'7" will have to be our leader and the captain. Biz will get an A, and LeBron, my glorious king, will get the other assistant captaincy. Now, before we go ahead and simulate, I do want to hop in and watch some gameplay because we're not going to win any games, honestly. I don't think we will. We're definitely not going to make the playoffs, so this is probably our only time that we will be able to see the worst team in NHL history play in front of your eyes. Here we are, Aces Arena, or the Incest Arena in Alabama. The Burger Boys ready to suit up for their first ever game in NHL history, and we're going to see how it goes. We'll stay in for a little bit. Obviously, the 4'7" is taking the draw up against Connor Bedard, and he loses it. No surprise there. I'm very interested to see how bad we really do. Like, are we just going to get destroyed right away? Like, oh, Bertuzzi walking out. Pelly makes the first save. There we go. Big back Pelly in the back of the net, and the Big Diesel, sponsored by Popeyes. Hopefully, it doesn't go to the penalty box. It is definitely not a Popeyes in there. Carvana turns it over. Bertuzzi walking in over, and Smelly Pelly makes the save. Oh, no. Connor Bedard is not going to move the Big Diesel on the back end. LeBron, let's go, my glorious king, up to Donald. Over to McGregor. Okay, or not. No, don't give it over to Connor. You're all good there. He is Irish at the end of the day. He is not an American citizen, unlike, I think, everybody else on this team, besides Pelly, obviously. Bedard over to Bertuzzi, walking in, and Smelly Pelly, big back himself, will make the save. Unbelievable. Full pressure for the Hawks as the Alabama Burger Boys are struggling to get the puck out. Bedard back to the point. Martinez, they still have not scored a single goal. I can't believe it. Pelly's actually pulling his own weight. Pause. He's probably not doing that. That would be impossible. So far, honestly, it's been pretty even. There's no score yet. Shots are 4-1. Oh, no, Kershev. Right as I say that, Paul Bizanet. We need Biz Nasty to go off here. He's a 76 overall, by far the highest overall on this team. Nobody's even remotely close. Donald, go. Trump, in alone. Donald, over. Biz, shooting. Oh, my God. I thought Biz was going to snipe that. I'm not even going to lie. He had the top corner pick, but he just could not get it done. Still waiting the first goal for the Hawks here. The floaty little backhander will hit the post. That's honestly a little weird. There we go. Trump. Get it out, Trump. Get it. Okay, never mind. Brody getting bodied by Donald. Hall shooting, and Smelly has been, he's been good. I can't even lie. Kyle Pelly, shout out to him. TJ Brody from the point, and there it is. Finally, it goes in. Taylor Hall will tip it home to score the first ever goal against the Alabama Burger Boys. Take a look at this starting five. We got the 4-7 down the middle. Of course, on the left wing, we got none other than the notorious Conor McGregor, mate. On the back end, the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal, and then his D partner in crime, the GOAT, Le Cap, Le Sperm, Le GM, Le LeBron James. And then finally, on the right wing, we have the best hockey player of them all, on this roster is none other than Biz Nasty. I truly wonder how long it would take if I were to sit here the entire game to see us score just one goal. All I want to see is one singular goal. Or since we have no energy now and our players are playing the entire length of the game, including Smelly, who is absolutely gassed from all the ice cream and hamburgers, cheeseburgers that he had, cookies as well. Oh no, Korchinski ripping it. I mean, one shot might go in here. Pelly could only keep up for the first 2 minutes of the game before losing all of his stamina. McGregor, get it out, Connor. Come on, kid. You gotta skate. You gotta skate, laddie. Move your feet. Oh my God, Connor McGregor is struggling. Puts it down low to Biz. Biz, back to the point, maybe? LeBron, rip it. Oh, no, LeBron got stripped, and Nick Foligno's gone on the breakaway. One-on-one with Smelly, and a diving save by the big back himself. Come on, Alabama. I got to see you guys score at least one goal. Otherwise, I probably never will. Connor Murphy rips it from the point, but Smelly makes the save. He's made 8 saves so far, only allowing 1 goal in the first period. Like, I cannot even be mad about that. How am I supposed to be angry with him for only allowing 1 goal in the first period? Oh no, Teravainen ripping it, rebound, and that will do it. The Alabama Burger Boys had a pretty good first period, literally only allowing 1 goal. Okay, I'm going to stay in for about 5 more minutes, and then I'm probably going to hop the hell out of here. Come on, I need to see 1 goal. It feels incomplete if I don't see a score at least 1, although we've only gave up 1 so far, so a pretty low scoring affair. There we go, we got energy now. We have energy. McGregor dumps it in. There we go. Dump and chase, brother. There we go. That's old-time hockey, coach. Oh, Paul on that forecheck. Biz all over him. There we go, McGregor. Shove him away. The champ does what he wants. Yeah. Oh, my God. Trump almost buried one on Peter Mrazek. Ain't no way. Martinez. Bertuzzi. Come on. Teravainen coming. I'm honestly pretty impressed defensively. How we done so far? Never mind. Tyler Bertuzzi will snipe it home on Big Belly Pelly. So far, so good, as we are 0-17 to start the season. Haven't won a single game yet. Probably, I mean, the most goals we've scored in a single game has only been 1, so it's pretty hard to win a hockey game like that. We are most likely going to go 0-82 unless something magical happens in one of these games where we actually beat a bad team like San Jose, maybe the Blackhawks. But right now, things are not looking too good for the Alabama Burger Boys. Well, it's all according to plan, honestly. We are 0-39 to start the year. I also believe we have the longest losing streak in NHL history that currently sits at 58 games, probably never to be broken. And to no one's surprise, we did not win a single hockey game all season. 0-82, not even an overtime loss. Every single one was in regulation. Obviously, we're going to be the worst team in the league. We didn't pick up a single point. Minnesota had 33 more wins than us and 74 more points. We were literally the worst team of all time, not even scoring at half a goal per game, but giving up almost 8.5, which is absolutely atrocious. Our leader, Donald Trump, was our leading scorer. He had 14 goals, 25 points, and a minus 628. Dear God. I mean, for a 76 overall, how the hell did a 39 outscore him, man? No hockey sense at all at a 76 overall. Only 1 goal on the season. Even McGregor had 11 and 18 points. LeBron had 7 goals, and the Big Diesel had 3 for 13 points. Taking a look at Smelly, I mean, whoa. Why did Martin Jones play 47 games? I guess Smelly got pulled in 47 of those. 0-82, he rocked an 824 save percentage and a 999 GAA, just like his king, Joseph Wall. He played exactly like him. An absolute bum. McDavid will have the most points in the league at 118. Crosby had 117. Pasta was up there. Stammer did good, as well as Leon Draisaitl. And on the goal side, David Pastrnak had 59. Stammer 56. That has not aged very well whatsoever. If anything, I should probably lower his overall on my roster now. Jason Robertson at 52 and McDavid 51. The highest GAA in the NHL, of course, is Big Belly Pelly at a 999, and the lowest save percentage, also Kyle Pelly. Shout out Arthur Sheloves. Holy hell, an 878 save percentage in 10 games? You were terrible, dude. Like, absolutely otherworldly bad. Obviously, we did not make the postseason, although I could have a 1-game Stanley Cup final, Game 7 matchup at the end of this to maybe possibly see us win a Stanley Cup. I don't think it's going to happen, obviously. It's going to be tough to beat any NHL team in a single game, but that will be our best chance at doing so, as they would beat the Dallas Stars in 6 games in the finals. Nothing else really surprises me other than Calgary making the Western Conference Finals. That's kind of out of place. Jason Robertson had the most points in the playoffs at 33. Wyatt Johnston was up there with 30. Breadman was very good. He also had 13 goals, and Adam Fox pulled his own weight. If only it was not impossible for Smelly Pelly to pull his weight. Steven Stamkos will win the Ted Lindsay and the Hart Trophy. Art Ross to McDavid. Maurice Richard to Pasta. Cale Makar will win the Norris. We got Breadman the Conn Smythe. Ottinger the Vezina. LeBron James is going to take home the Bill Masterton Trophy, and the Selke will go to Sasha Barkov. I did completely forget when I first made the Burger Boys that we were winning trophies in the NHL for being a bad team. Like, how does LeBron win the trusteeship under the Professional Hockey Writers Association for the most sportsmanship and dedication to hockey? I guess if you're losing 82 games a season and you're still playing every single game, that shows some dedication to the sport. Moving on to season number 2, the Alabama Burger Boys are making no changes, running back the exact same lineup in the hopes of actually winning at least one National Hockey League game, which, if we're being honest, probably is not going to happen. All right, so the season has started just as expected. 0-22, we face the Edmonton Oilers and the best hockey player of all time in Connor McDavid. I'm hoping for a close game that we can hop into. Well, it was close after the first period, but I guess Smelly Pelly's cardio needs to be worked on. Hop on that treadmill. Can we maybe get one goal on the board? I know we're getting outshot right now, 49-5. We got a power play. I should have hopped in there. If I see another PP on the board, I am hopping the hell in. You know what? I'm going to mess with the sliders a little bit here. We got the game speed. I'll put it up to 6 out of 6, and attribute effects, I will make them utterly meaningless to see if we can actually snipe one here. All right. Here we are in the third period. About a minute to go as, oh wow, the Biz Nasty looked like Connor McDavid out there. The attribute effects are 0 out of 10, so theoretically, it should not really matter that all of our team that is out there on the ice are like 36-40 overall players, compared to, what, a 99 Connor McDavid in this game. Let's see if, in fact, they can go out there, bury a puck, make me happy. I mean, look at the crowd right now, dude. Half the arena is already left because of 6-0 blowout here in Alabama. I mean, what else do you guys got to do on a Friday night in Alabama? Besides kiss your cousins. Oh, wait, hold up. McGregor coming down the wing. McGregor walking in. LeBron James, no! And Stuart Foreskin Skinner will make the save. All I want to see is one goal. Then my life will be complete. I did create this team, so I want to see them succeed to a certain standpoint. I mean, I know they're not going to be very good. I wasn't planning on them being very good. Oh no, McDavid just blowing by LeBron. I mean, LeBron's too big, too lanky. Skates will probably not have the best coordination. Oh, no. Smelly with the great save on Jeff Skinner. Helly's trying his best out here. He's been bombarded with shots pretty much the entire season. And, of course, last season as well. Oh, no. Bouchard blasting it. Draisaitl. Here we go. Come on, Connor. Conor McGregor, mate. Proper number 12 Irish whiskey. Yeah. Oh, Donald coming in. Trump. Back to LeBron. Shooting. That was a great shot. McGregor behind the net in front. Another great save by Skinner. And we are unable to register a single goal yet again. Yet again, the Alabama Burger Boys would finish with a record of 0-82. Still could not get a single point in the regular season. Calgary was much better than us, and they were second worst. But, I mean, if there was a draft lottery, theoretically, we would win it. And we would become maybe the greatest story of all time if I ever could turn around this team in franchise mode and win them a Stanley Cup. Maybe for another video. For right now, I want to see sucking. Trump, again, was our leading scorer. He had 15 goals, 24 points. McGregor had 13 and 20. Shaq had 20. Biz, wow. Biz has still yet to register a single goal, despite the fact that he's much higher overall than anybody else on our team. LeBron had 5 goals, 10 apples, 15 points, and the worst plus minus, actually the second worst plus minus, Trump had a minus 633. That is terrible. And in goal, Smelly Pelly, I mean, he didn't win a single game, lost every single one of them. His GAA did go up a little bit, so he's saving more shots, and He had an .832 save percentage, which honestly, it could be a lot worse theoretically. For a 45 overall AHL overweight goaltender, that's not even that bad. Connor McDavid again will have the most points this time at 125. The Dog had 121. Kucherov was up there. Matthews had a great season. Draisaitl with 109. And on the goal side, dear Lord, McKinnon had 61 on the season. Matthews had 59. Draisaitl 56. And Rantanen 53. For goalies, the worst save percentage, of course, will be none other than Big Belly Pelly, and the worst GAA, also at 9.48 goals per game, will be Smelly Pelly. I mean, Martin Jones was pretty bad. He was on our team, and then outside of that, the highest was 3.81, which honestly, I thought it would be a little bit higher. Maybe Phoenix Copley with 28 games played. He had a .500 record, wasn't that great, but it could be a lot worse if you take a look at the Burger Boys goaltending tandem. Well, this is how you know this is a video game. The Toronto Maple Leafs will go all the way, beat the Stars in 6 games. Didn't Dallas lose last year in the Stanley Cup Finals as well? They are just being a bunch of losers in this video. It's supposed to be the Burger Boys that are the losers of this video, but right now Dallas is taking the cake, making it all the way, and not having anything to show for it. Yet again, back-to-back postseasons where Jason Robertson had the most amount of points at 36. Austin Matthews put up 22 goals. Yeah, right. Wyatt Johnston at 29. Marner 29. McDavid was okay. I mean, he was pretty good. He only played 18 games compared to being in the 20s for the rest of these players. McKinnon with the Ted Lindsay and Maurice Richard. McDavid, the Art Ross and Hart Trophy. Makar again, the Norris, the Conn Smythe. We'll go to Mitch Marner. Peter Mrazek somehow won the Vezina. And we got yet again LeBron James winning the Sportsmanship Award. And Sasha Barkov, the Selke Trophy. At least we're winning one award every single season. We can be recognized for how awful of a hockey team that we truly are. Hockey gods, I don't ask a lot from you guys, but one singular regulation victory. Actually, it could be overtime shootout. I don't really care. Just one victory for the Burger Boys would do myself for a happy month. We've been very unlucky to this point, not winning a single game, but hopefully all of that changes this season. Well, sadly, my praying did not work. The Burger Boys, yet again, no wins on the season, 82 regulation losses. I mean, we're not even scoring at half a goal per game now, and we're giving up 8.21 goals against per game, which is probably the NHL record for the worst hockey team that's ever existed, ever been alive, ever been created. Finally, Biz Nasty wakes up 3 goals, 16 apples for 19 points, leading our squad. Donald had 9 and 9 for 18. LeBron did okay with 4 goals and 14 points. The Big Diesel was trying to carry that weight around, and Conor McGregor, I guess he was punch drunk on his Irish proper number 12 the entire season. And in goal, Big Back Pelly, let's see, an .818 save percentage and a 10.38 GAA. Just like his dad, Joseph Wall. Big Back Pelly really cannot save the puck, and I don't blame the guy. He doesn't really have any defense in front of him either, so it was a struggle from the get-go. David Pastrnak will have the most points in the league at 114. Honestly, surprisingly low considering what the scoring is usually at. Matthews at 109. Nathan McKinnon was up there. Sidney Crosby had 105 and McDavid only 101. Speaking of goals, Matthews will have the most at 58, Pastas 57, McKinnon 56, and Draisaitl 55. Of course, Big Back Pelly was the worst goaltender in the entire National Hockey League. I mean, he's probably the worst in NHL history, but I'm not going to blame the guy. He's also on the worst team in history. And the Carolina Hurricanes would end up going all the way and winning the Stanley Cup, beating the LA Kings in Game 7. Honestly, 2 teams that normally don't meet in the Cup Finals, getting there in 1 game to win it all. Your mom's a hoe, and the Carolina Hurricanes got the job done. Pasta will take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Matthews, the Maurice Richard, Cale Makar, the Norris, Matvei Mishkov, the Calder. Robinson will win the Conn Smythe, Jake Ottinger, the Vezina. LeBron again with the Sportsmanship and Dedication Award. Will I be able to complete the Big 3 challenge here in NHL 24? Now, basically what that means is I'm able to choose 3 players, anybody in the entire league right now, to add to my team of basically nobodies. starting out with only 3 great players on the roster and then building a Stanley Cup contender around them. And ultimately, in 10 years, I have to win a Stanley Cup. If I don't do that, then I fail the challenge, obviously. But I mean, to start out, I gotta choose 3 of the best players to build a foundation in place for the newest team in the NHL. So let's go ahead, take a look at the players that I've chosen. Now, the 3 lucky players that I have chosen to add to my team, of course, number 1 is Connor McDavid, 99 overall, the best player in the entire game. Also, a 97 overall Austin Matthews. This guy simulates way better than he actually plays like in real life. He'll put up like 60 and 60 alongside a guy like McDavid. And on defense, I have the young Cale Makar, 24 years old, also 97, as he's obviously going to be a top 5 player in the NHL. Everybody else is literally free agents. We got Halak as our starting goalie at an 80 overall. A lot of these guys are only signed to 1-year deals, I believe. So we are going to be able to completely rebuild our team in year 1 offseason in free agency. We'll have a ton of cap space to sign literally whoever the hell we want. But for the first season, we are not going to be very good, as we only have 3 decent, well, I shouldn't say decent, 3 amazing players, and everybody else isn't even an NHL caliber player. Now, we do have up to 10 seasons to win this franchise a Stanley Cup. The BBL Drizzies is our official name. Take a look. Toronto BBL Drizzy. Shout out Drake. Obviously had a tough time with that Kendrick beef, but now that's all over. Now, if you guys do enjoy videos just like this, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you get notified when I go live or when I post a video. Now, let's see how we do in year number 1. We are 7-3-2 to start the season, which honestly is a little bit surprising. I didn't think we would be this good right off the rip. All right, so surprisingly, at the end of year number 1, we actually went on. The BBL Drizzies won 50 games on the season, losing 27-5 in overtime, 105 points. First in the Central, and if we take a look at the entire NHL, we were 3rd in the entire league behind the Vancouver Canucks and the Florida Panthers, who do have a very good roster. I also did remove McDavid, Matthews, and Makar from their respective teams, so we're not going to have any duplicates. Vegas won 50 games. Dallas is pretty good also. Connor McDavid will lead our team, 68 goals, 171 points, a monster season. Matthews as well was very good, 70 goals, 167 points. Makar had 114, also 27 goals. Josh Bailey had 53, and basically the rest of our players just chipped in where they had to. Obviously, we were carried heavily by our top 3, the big 3 rebuild. And goal Yaroslav Halak, 43, 26, and 4. 2 shutouts, and honestly, not bad statistics. A 909 save percentage. Sometimes I don't get a 93 overall goalie. Connor McDavid will lead everybody in scoring with 171 points, and Austin Matthews will lead in goals with 70. McDavid at 68, Kaprizov 55, Robo 49, and Draisaitl 47. And on the point side, I mean, Matthews was great. Makar as well was 3rd. Kachuk had 110, Pedersen 109, and Kaprizov and Barkov, they had 107 apiece. And in the first round of the playoffs, we are going to be playing the Calgary Flames, who honestly aren't the toughest matchup, but again, our team is really top-heavy with our top 3 players. Everybody else is pretty mediocre. Sadly, Calgary would end up defeating us in Game 7. We did fall down 3-0 in the series, won 3 straight games, and then choked in Game 7. I mean, our goalie was probably our weakness. We were giving up like 5-6 goals a night, and obviously in the playoffs, you cannot do that if you want to expect to win. And the Carolina Hurricanes would end up sweeping the Vegas Golden Knights and capturing the Stanley Cup. McDavid will take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Then Maurice Richard will go to Matthews. The Norris to Cale Makar. The Conn Smythe to Seth Jarvis. Freddie Anderson is going to win the Vezina, and the Selke will go to McDavid. And just like I expected, $42 million in cap space. We only have 3 contracts on our team right now. Obviously, Makar at $9 million, Matthews at $11.6, and McDavid at $11.5. And they are signed for like 15 years. I made sure that they would be here for the entire video, and I would not have to re-sign them. And now, really, it's just time to decide who I want to bring back. Maybe Josh Bailey could still play here, and Nick Ritchie, but everybody else probably is going to come from free agency. So, in free agency, here are the players that we are picking up. Colin Miller has accepted our offer. JVR, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen we signed. We got a goalie. Brett Pesce is accepted. Jonathan Drouin. Matt Dumba declined and went to the Montreal Canadiens. Zadorov did. That I offered a contract. No, we still have 3 more contracts offered. Tarasenko, Reinhardt are 2 of the big guys that I do want to get re-signed. Hopefully, not re-signed, but signed to our team. We have $13 million in cap space, so we don't have enough for both of them. Shane Gostisbehere also decided to go with a different team in the Oilers. Sam Reinhart has accepted our offer, which is amazing. 91 overall winger. And Tarasenko went with another team in the Vancouver Canucks. Now, taking a look at our roster heading into the second season, we still have McDavid and Matthews. Matthews actually up to a 98 now, with Sam Reinhart at a 91, the best first line in the entire league. Now, our depth forward-wise isn't really great, honestly. JVR, Doan, and Drouin on the second line. Josh Doan, which I believe is the son of Shane Doan. We also have Connor Geekie on that third line. He can grow to mid-80s. Fourth line's not great. Now, defensively, I picked up a lot of D-man. Makar's up to a 98. We got Zadorov, Brett Pesci, Colin Miller, and Dmitry Simashev. Well, if he works with Cale Makar, I would love to pair them up. And then if we take a look at our goalies, we have Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, who's an 85 overall, signed long-term. I had to give him like 6.5 mil. But he is signed for 6 years, so if he grows to like a 90-plus overall, he will be good. And then Michael Harabel, the classic, whenever I have to substitute Arizona, we get all their prospects, and he is one of them. Already an 83 overall. He might be a 90 by next season. As I mean, we won 50 games last season, so I don't know how much we can actually improve, but overall, we do have a better roster, so we should be able to comfortably make the playoffs. I have a feeling we might miss, as usually we overperform with a worse team than when we get a better team. We usually underperform. That's usually how the EA simulation works, but you never really know. Yet again, for the second season in a row, the BBL jerseys are going to win 50 games, losing 24, 8 in overtime, 108 points, second in the Central behind Minnesota. And for the entire NHL, we were also second, so Minnesota, the best team in the league, 5 more wins than us. Buffalo was very good. Edmonton was up there. The Islanders, Vegas, and New York. Austin Matthews will lead our team in goals with 57 and points with 127. McDavid had 122 and 48 goals. Makar had 103. Sam Reinhart only 76, but we're paying this guy literally $11.5 million to put up 25 goals. That's not going to cut it, brother. You're playing on the first line as well. Drouin had 63, JVR 61, Josh Bailey 46, and for our goalies, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen had 39 wins, 15 losses, 7 in overtime, 3 shutouts, and a .909 save percentage. Matthews will lead the entire league in goals with 57, tying David Pastrnak, and he will have the most points with 127. McDavid had 122, Pasta 104, Makar 103, Jack Eichel had 40 goals and 100 points. Shout out to him, and of course Tage Thompson, TNT. Makar will lead all D-man in scoring, 27 goals and 103 points. Now for goalies, Luukkonen was up there with 39 wins. Jesper Wallstedt had the most at 43. And in the first round of the playoffs, we have drawn the Dallas Stars, who do have a very good team. We would sweep them in the first round, and now we have to face the Winnipeg Jets in the second round. Taking care of Winnipeg, also in 4 games, 2 sweeps back-to-back, and now in the conference finals, we have the St. Louis Blues. We literally could have been a perfect 12-0 headed into the Stanley Cup finals, but we lost 1 game to St. Louis. But I mean, absolute goddamn dominance by the BBL Drizzies. And in the Stanley Cup Finals, we have to face the very good and very dirty Florida Panthers as the BBL Drizzies in their second season trying to absolutely dominate the playoffs. Only 1 loss so far, and here we are in the finals. Can we get the job done in only my second season as the general manager? And in only their second season in the league, the Toronto BBL Drizzies will go on and win the Stanley Cup as we swept the Florida Panthers in the finals. We literally could have been perfect if we didn't lose that 1 game to St. Louis. I believe it was game 3 or game 4. God damn, what an absolute display of dominance by the BBLs here in the playoffs. I mean, McDavid, Matthews, and Makar, the true leaders of this squad. As the Conn Smythe will go to Matthews, 15 goals, 32 points by him. I mean, he always simulates great in this game. That's why I chose him, and he's got a dirty-ass mustache and a receding hairline, but that's okay because he is the playoff MVP for us here in year number 2. And I mean, honest to God, this is probably the best team I've ever had simulate in the playoffs. I've never went 16-1 in the postseason, just wreaking havoc the entire way through. No series was even close, as here comes Connor McDavid coming to lift the cup for the first time in his career, as the BBL Drizzies have gone all the way in season number 2. Now, in the postseason, Connor McDavid led our team in scoring, 33 points and 13 goals. Matthews had 32, Reinhart 24, JVR 36 years old, 84 overall, put up 8 goals and 22 points in only 17 games. Drouin was pretty good as well as Cale Makar, who honestly had a pretty disappointing playoff run, I'm not going to lie. Luukkonen, 16-1, rocked a .920 save percentage. I'm so glad I signed this dude. I mean, he should bolster up to like an 88, 90 overall after the season he just had. Matthews will take home all the major individual awards. Cale Makar is going to win the Norris, also the Conn Smythe to Poppy. Wallstat, the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Sidney Crosby. As we have already completed the challenge in only 2 years, I thought this would take way longer than it actually did. I guess the players I picked were really next level and generational talents, besides Matthews, obviously. But I mean, what do we do now? I think what we're going to have to do is we can go up to 7 years in this sim. That will leave us 5 more years, I believe, and see how many Stanley Cups we can rack up before the 7-year mark and see if we can create a dynasty here in Toronto, something they never had with the Maple Laughs. Now, in free agency, we pretty much have everybody locked up. We do have 6.6 mil in cap space to spend. Atu Ratu, I would like to get back. I'll probably qualify him, though. It looks like everybody else, honestly, is signed for goalies. Harabel and Luukkonen are signed, so we can go out in free agency and actually get a pretty good player. So here are the pending UFAs and free agency. A guy like Yanni Gourde would be nice to go after. $6 million he's only asking for. He is 33 years old at an 85 overall. A little bit on the older side. Roslovic's younger, but is asking for more money. Also a winger. And luckily, Yanni Gourde was extremely happy to accept my offer. We got him on a 3-year deal, so he will be 36 by the end of it. But obviously, we can move him if we want to. But that gives us a good second-line center at an 85 overall that can help our team even more. I mean, we did not have the greatest forward depth, yet we still cruised our way through the regular season and the postseason. Now, going into the third season, we still rock with Matthews, McDavid, and Reinhart on that first line. Reinhart actually is down to an 89 now at 29 years old. He didn't have the best season, even though he did play in the first line. Doan's up to an 81. Gourde's an 84. Drouin is there. JVR's dropped down. We got Geeky up to a 79. Now, defensively, oh my god, we have a -2 here with Simashev. Move Simashev on the first line. Actually, do not move Simashev in the first line. Brett Pesce can go there. We'll rock with Miller, Simashev, Zadorov, Duda, Pesce, and of course Cale Makar, who is a 98 overall, and a Michael Harabel, 90 overall at 20 years old. Luukkonen's only an 86. I would like them to split the games. I don't want to stunt Luukkonen's growth, but it might end up going because Harabel he caps off at a 90 overall. He's not going to grow anymore. The most I've seen him get up to is a 91, but he'll stay from like a 90 to 88. At the end of the season, the BBL Drizzies, again, would be pretty good. 48, 29, and 5, 101 points, second in our division behind the Winnipeg Jets, and for the entire NHL, we were top 5. Ottawa, Buffalo, Winnipeg, and Vancouver were all better, though. But of course, that playoff time comes around, and we just turn into absolute gods. McDavid, again, going to lead our team. 44 goals, 128 points. Matthews had 70 goals and 112 points. Makar had 92. Reinhart, again, only 75. We might have to move off of him in the offseason. Maybe grab another D-man. Drouin had 49. Was a -26, though. Yanni Gourde was okay. And if we take a look at our goalie, Harabel only rocked a 902. While Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen literally played 17 games, so we might have to get rid of Harabel. He's the only 90 overall goalie I know that doesn't simulate well. Actually, that's a lie. A lot of them do not simulate well, but he does not also. The only problem is he doesn't have high trade value, so we're probably not going to get anything great back in return. McDavid will lead the league in scoring with 128 points, followed by Matthews, who had 112, Timmy Stu, 108. Nylander was up there, as well as Elias Pettersson on the goal side. Matthews will lead with 70. Tkachuk had 51. Both of the Tkachuk brothers both had 51 goals on the season, as we are going to play the Minnesota Wild in the first round. We dominated them in 5 games, and now we have the Winnipeg Jets in round 2. Just barely squeaked by the Jets in 7 games, and now in the conference finals, we have the Calgary Flames, who should be a pretty good matchup, especially like 3 years in. We would absolutely dominate Calgary, and now we have the Boston Bruins in the Stanley Cup finals. They just narrowly beat Buffalo in Game 7. Obviously, we are on an absolute tear, trying to go back-to-back. Can we do it? And the Toronto BBL Drizzies are going to go back-to-back, winning their 2nd straight Stanley Cup, and in only 3 seasons, as not only has GM Pasta completed the challenge, but I've created a dynasty here in Toronto, something they really have never had in only 50 seasons. As I mean, it would be a hard-fought series, went to 7 with Boston. It wasn't like last year where we just dominated the postseason, much closer, as Connor McDavid gonna win the Conn Smythe, 17 goals, 47 points. That's got to be close to the record. No, I believe the record's like 48 by Gretzky. Although Connor McDavid might be the greatest player in NHL history, and there it is, the Conn Smythe, the Stanley Cup. How did I mix that up? Waiting to be presented for the 2nd straight season in a row to Connor McDavid and the BBL Drizzies, as here he comes to lift it for the 2nd time for the 2nd straight season. as now it is time to see if we can go back-to-back-to-back three-peating here in NHL 24. Now for the playoffs, obviously McDavid was our best player, 47 points. Matthews had 37 and 18 goals. Cale Makar had a very big postseason, 36 points. Also had 13 goals. Reinhart was very good. Drouin had 16. And for our goalie, Harabel, again, only a .908 save percentage. So honestly, I might try to move off of him, even though he is down at an 88 overall. I want to rock with Luukkonen. I feel like he simulates a little better in this game than him. McDavid will take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Matthews, the Maurice Richard, the Norris, to Quinn Hughes, the Conn Smythe, of course, to McDavid. Devin Levi is going to win the Vezina, and the Selke Trophy will go to Connor McDavid. In the re-sign phase, we have $10.8 million to spend. We do got to get back. Maybe JVR, I'll let go to free agency. He is 37 years old. Atu Ratu, I'll qualify him and Doan. And everybody else seems to be locked up here. Even our goalies are locked up, so we are going to have a lot of space to even improve this team more than we already have. Now, in free agency, it says we have $10.7 million, but we only have 8.7. A guy like Bruce Jenner would be perfect, although he's a little bit older. But we do get a centerman that we need. Jacob Trouba, we could improve our decor a little more. I don't know if he fits on our lines, but we could definitely make it work. And we would end up signing Jacob Trouba to a pretty big contract, 32 years old. Now, as we head into year number 4, again, we still have Reinhart, McDavid, and Matthews on the first line. Drouin, Gord, and Doan on the second line. Geeky's up to an 83 with Butt, who's already an 85 overall. Daniel Butt. Zadorov, Makar. Maybe Trouba, does he work up with Makar? He does not. Simashev is there. Duda and Brett Pesce. A very good decor. And in goal, an 88 Harabel, an 86 Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Now for Harabel, I think I might end up moving off of him. I'm going to try to find a trade for him just so we can have Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen grow and become better. He also simulates better. Now for the time being, Harabel does have 2 years left on his deal, so I'm going to wait and see. We might have to make the move in the offseason, but right now I don't really feel comfortable giving him up, although he doesn't simulate too well. I'm really conflicted on what I want to do here, but if we lose this year, then it will just confirm the fact that I want to move off of Harabel. So I'll wait and see. I'm not going to mess it up. We went back-to-back, winning 2 straight Stanley Cups. I don't want to be the reason why we don't have a three-peat. No surprise here, as yet again, we are very good. Second in our division as we went 45, 26, and 11. Minnesota damn near won 60 games. They were the best team in the entire league. But of course, we were top 6 in the NHL, which is not bad at all, going for our 3rd straight Stanley Cup. Austin Matthews will lead our team in goals with 61 and points with 121. McDavid had 117. Makar 94. Reinhart 88. Doan had 54, also 23 goals. And if we take a look at our goalies, Harabel still, again, only a .907 save percentage. He did have 2 shutouts and 33 wins, so I guess I can't get too mad at him. Matthews is going to have the most goals in the NHL with 61 and the most points at 121. McDavid 117. Tim Stützle was up there, as well as Ryan Leonard, who had 47 goals and 100 points. As in the first round, we are going to be playing the Winnipeg Jets, and that will definitely do it. Getting swept in the first round by the Winnipeg Jets. Changes need to be made. We scored 2 goals in the series in 4 games and got shut out the other 2. Okay. And the Red Wings will go on, defeat Minnesota in 6 games to take home the Stanley Cup. Matthews will win basically all the awards yet again. The Norris to Quinn Hughes. The Conn Smythe will go to DeBrincat. The Vezina to Aiden Hill. And the Selke will go to Sidney Crosby. Now in the re-sign phase, we have $8.9 million to spend. I do got to re-sign Dome, but he is an RFA, so I can't qualify him. Connor Geeky, I would like to get back. And for goalies, both of them are signed. All right, so the first trade of the entire video I'm going to be making, even after 2 Stanley Cups, I didn't have to make a single trade. We got Harabel for Borkstrand, straight up 1-for-1 here in the offseason. Let's see. And the Chicago Blackhawks had no problem accepting that offer. We got rid of Harabel, who, I mean, was an 89, but didn't simulate like it. And we have Luukkonen, who can grow to a higher overall. Got a forward back in Borkstrand also. Next up on the agenda, Mangiapane, 1 year left on his deal for some prospects. Yanni Gord, who's making $6.4 million at an 81 overall. Also threw in a 2nd-round pick. And of course, Anaheim has no issue accepting my offer. Next up is Anthony Ciu. He's got 3 years left on his deal at 1.6. We also threw in a 2nd or a 3rd, a 4th, and a prospect, and Colorado agreed that was a fair trade. I also want Miles Wood from the Colorado Avalanche. I will give up a 2nd, 3rd, and a 4th, and we are wheeling and dealing here in the offseason, trying to improve this roster. Now our forward core honestly is looking a lot better. We obviously have that dynamite first line with McDavid, Matthews, and Reinhart. Doan's up to an 85 alongside Drouin and Butt. We also have Borkstrand, Geeky, and Mangiapane, then Lemieux, Anthony and Miles Wood. Defensively, Simashev's up to an 86 alongside Cale Makar. We also have Trouba, Zadorov, then Duda and Brett Pesce, and in goal, an 86 overall, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. He's our starter. He's the guy. Please give me a very good season, at least like a 9-10 save percentage. At the end of the regular season, we are going to end up finishing first in the Central, 51, 22, and 9, 111 points. A very good season. Second overall in the entire league behind the Vancouver Canucks, who won 56 games. McDavid, another electric season, 41 goals, 122 points. Matthews had 102, 60 goals. Reinhart, 85. Makar, only 82 at a 98 overall. That's not really great. Drouin had 61, and for Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, he only gave me a 903 save percentage, 1 shutout, 36 wins. I guess I can't complain, but those are pretty bad stats, I'm not going to lie. Connor McDavid's going to have the most points in the NHL at 122, and the most goals will go to Austin Matthews, who had 60, as we are facing off against the Vegas LTIR Cheaters in the very first round. We would actually sweep the Cheaters in the first round, and now we have Connor Bedard and the Chicago Blackhawks in round 2. He barely beat them in 7, and now in the conference finals, we have the Vancouver Canucks. Sadly, we would end up losing to Vancouver, who did go on and win the Stanley Cup, dominating the Red Wings in 5 games in the finals. McDavid will take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross and Hart Trophy, the Maurice Richard to Matthews, the Norris again to Quinn Hughes, Conn Smythe to Niels Hoglander, Ilya Sorokin is going to win the Vezina, and the Selke Trophy will go to Connor McDavid yet again. Now, we do only have 2 years left to go in the video. Our first line still consists of Reinhart, McDavid, and Matthews. Maybe I could move off of Sam Reinhart, 32 years old, 90 overall. Borkstrand is up there with Geeky and Butt. Our third line is pretty good. Fourth line isn't great. We have a 69 overall as our fourth line center. We did run into cap trouble. Defensively, we're pretty much the exact same. Zadorov, Trouba, Makar, Simashev. And then in goal, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, still an 86 overall. So we do not have the same depth that we used to have, at least the last season or even the season before that. But 2 years to go in this video. Can we capture at least one more Stanley Cup before GM Pasta ultimately retires from being a general manager? Now, this is the first season that we just barely made the postseason. 44, 33, and 5, 93 points. So maybe we're trailing off a little bit. If we take a look at the entire NHL, the Edmonton Oilers were the best team after losing McDavid, rebuilding for a few years. They are back. McDavid would have a great season, 40 goals, 130 points. Matthews had 62 goals, 113 points. Reinhart, 90, Makar had 86, Geeky, 61, and Butt, 59. And for Luukkonen, 36, 27, and 4, and only a 900 save percentage alongside 2 shutouts. Yet again, Connor McDavid will lead everybody in scoring with 130 points, and Matthews will take home the goals with 62 on the season. Shout out Patrick Laine for putting up 50. And we have the Chicago Blackhawks in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We would take care of the Blackhawks in 6 games, and now we have the Minnesota Wild, who I know do have a very good roster in this game. They seem pretty well also, and we would ultimately lose in game 7, 5-4 to the Minnesota Wild. And the Carolina Hurricanes would beat Vancouver in 5 games to take home the Stanley Cup. McDavid again, Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, Hart Trophy, Matthews, the Maurice Richard, the Norris will go to Quinn Hughes, the Conn Smythe to Aho, Schmidt is going to take home the Vezina, and the Selke again to Connor McDavid. Now, in the final season of the video, our lines are pretty much the same. I don't feel like I got to make too many moves. I mean, Reinhart is a 91. We do have a +5 there, so I don't want to mess that up. Geeky, Bud, and Borkstrand on that second line. Our third line's okay. Our fourth line isn't great. Now, defensively, we lost a little bit. Our bottom pair are both 66 overall, so I might sign some depth defensemen to fill out that role. And in goal, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, 86 overall to finish the year. Now, the BBL Drizzies would end up finishing with a record of 46, 26, and 10, second in their division, so a pretty good regular season. And I mean, we were top 7 in the entire league in this year. A 33-year-old Connor McDavid put up 38 goals and 124 points. Makar had 101, Reinhart 90. Matthews had a bad season, 55 goals, but only 88 points. Butt had 75, almost a 40-goal season. This dude is a sniper, and he's developing very nicely, in all honesty. Connor Geeky had 61, and for our goalie, Luukkonen, 37, 18, and 7, 5 shutouts and a 912 save percentage. Literally a better year than Harabel would ever have gave me. I mean, he was awful. Luukkonen wasn't even good for the last 2 years, but this season he really showed up. Again, McDavid is going to have the most points in the NHL at 124, and for the most goals goals, it will go to Leon Draisaitl and Patrick Laine, tying at 56 apiece. As yet again, we have the Blackhawks in the very first round. We got rid of Chicago in 6 games, and now we have Minnesota in the second round. We would absolutely destroy Minnesota, sweeping them in the second round, and now in the conference finals, the Vegas LTIR Cheaters. Sadly, Vegas would beat us in Game 7 of the conference finals, and the New Jersey Devils go on and beat them in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup finals to capture Lord Stanley. Before we end the video, I would like to mention the point totals that Connor McDavid has put up on the BBL Drizzies. I mean, overall 120 points almost every single season at this point, but I mean, he has 621 goals, 1,764 points. Can a team full of Connors win a Stanley Cup in NHL 24? That is right. I have constructed a full team of players who have Connor in their names, and we're going to simulate 5 full seasons to see if they can go on and win a Stanley Cup in NHL 24. So without further ado, no more chatting, no more talking. Let's go ahead, take a look at the roster, and take a look at the Connors. Now, taking a look at our squad, we're actually pretty loaded. We got Kyle Connor, Connor McDavid, and Connor Garland on that first line, a 91, 99, and 82. Also, Connor Sheary alongside Mr. Bedsy and Connor McMichael. Our third line takes a little bit of a hit with Logan O'Connor, Drew O'Connor, and Connor DeWar. And I'm just going to be saying Connor way too much throughout this entire video. And then finally in the fourth line, we got Connor Geeky, Connor Zary, and Connor Brown. Now defensively, we got Connor Mackey and Connor Clifton. We also have Connor Murphy with Connor Carrick, and then we have Connor Corcoran alongside Connor Timmins. And in goal, we're actually pretty well built with Connor Hellebuck and then Connor Ingram as our backup. So honestly, I think this is a playoff team. I have no idea if we will go on and win a Stanley Cup, but I'm hoping that we can get the job done here in NHL 24. Now, at the end of the first season, we will have a very good regular season, 49, 24, and 9, 107 points. The best team in our division and the third best team in the entire NHL, only behind the Colorado Avalanche, who we know have a great team, and of course the Tampa Bay Lightning, who simulate insanely well in this game. Connor McDavid will lead our team in scoring, 41 goals, 97 points. Kyle Connor had 78, also 29 goals. Bedard, as a rookie, 38 goals, 71 points. Garland had 70, McMichael 51, Sheary had 48, and Logan O'Connor 46. And if we take a look at Hellebuck, I mean, he rocked a .917 save percentage, had 5 shutouts, and 39 wins on the season. Finally, a goalie simulates very well for my team. Mitchell Marner will lead the entire league in scoring with 104 points, followed by Rantanen, who had 98, Matthews 97, Connor McDavid was up there, as well as Kaprizov and Pasternak. And now on the goal side, Austin Matthews will lead with 58, followed by Pastu at 56, a big drop off to 47. And then Connor Bedard as an 18-year-old, 46. This is the Chicago one, not the Connor Bedard that's actually on our team. That would be a little bit differently. If we take a look at goalies, Hellebuck will have the most wins, but that is the Winnipeg Hellebuck, not our Hellebuck. I know, very confusing, but if we take a look at the shutouts, it will go to Alexander Georgiev, who had 7 on the season. Now, in the first round of the postseason, we are going to be facing the Minnesota Wild, and unfortunately, we would end up losing to the Minnesota Wild in Game 7 overtime, losing 3-2. That's an absolute heartbreaker. And the team that we lost to in the first round in Minnesota would go on and take home the Stanley Cup, beating the Rangers in 7 games in the finals. Now, we didn't really have much of a playoff run, but McDavid did have 3 goals and 5 points in the postseason in 7 games. Sheary had 5, McMichael 5, and Logan O'Connor 5. What did Connor Hellebuck do here? 3-3-1, and he rocked an .891 save percentage. He literally played like Hellebuck did in real life in the first round this season. Mitch Marner will take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Matthews, the Maurice Richard. The Norris will go to Adam Fox. Kaprizov, the Conn Smythe. Linus Ullmark, the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Le Connor McDavid of the team full of Connors, as we now head into season number 2 after a pretty disappointing season number 1, if I'm being honest. I mean, I thought we would do a little bit better. We did win, 49 games? But we did not even make it out of round number 1. I would also like to mention that I am recording this while I am like 12, 13, 14 drinks deep after the Oilers-Panthers watch party, so I am loaded drunk doing a simulation video on a team full of Connors. Shout out to the chat. I got them here with me. I'm also getting donations, so I have to keep downing drinks during or between the cuts here in the video, which is crazy. But hopefully we can at least win one Stanley Cup throughout the simulation. If not, I will honestly be a little bit disappointed. So now at the end of season number 2, somehow we have completely fallen off a cliff. Dead last in our division, 32, 43, and 7. Only 71 points. I don't know how we went from what was it, like 47 wins to now 32. The Edmonton Oilers were the best team in our division, and for the entire NHL, it was the Tampa Bay Lightning who won 55. Connor McDavid, despite making history tonight in real life, he's only going to put up 27 goals and 67 points. Connor Bedard had 31 goals, 57 points, but was a minus 33. Are you kidding me? Logan O'Connor had 48, Connor Garland 46, Kyle Connor 45, and Dewar had 41. And for Connor Hellebuck, only a .906 save percentage, 27 wins, only 2 shutouts. He wasn't really the greatest this season, in all honesty. Nikita Kucherov will lead the NHL in scoring, 104 points. Jason Robertson had 102. Connor McDavid was up there. I believe McDavid passed Gretzky for the most assists in a single postseason run, which is absolute bonkers. Stammer had 94. Draisaitl was up there. Matthews had a pretty decent season, and he will lead in goals with 57. Rantanen 49. Kaprizov had 40. Pasternak 39. And Tyler Seguin having a monster season at 32, 39 goals, and 93 points for Tyler Seguin. Andrei Vasilevsky will lead the league in wins with 47, and for the shutouts, it will go to, again, Alexander Georgiev dominating the sim. 9 shutouts and a .915 save percentage. Where was his play in the first and second rounds of the postseason in real life, in all honesty? I don't understand how he simulates so well at only an 86 overall. Now, of course, we did not even make the postseason, so we're just going to simulate along and see who ends up taking home the Stanley Cup at the end of season number 2. Now, in the Stanley Cup Finals, the Red Wings would dominate the Oilers in 5 games to finally capture their first Stanley Cup since 2008 when they played the Pittsburgh Penguins. I remember those back-to-back finals. Marian Hossa, you are a traitor. Now, in the playoffs, Lucas Raymond will tie JT Compher for the most points at 21. Raymond also had 8 goals. Victor Hedman had 19. McDavid was up there, only played 19 games, though. Robbie Fabry, 18. Patrick Kane was good. Bouchard and Anthony Duclair. And for goalies, Ville Husso, .922 save percentage and had 3 shutouts in the postseason, so he really locked it down for Detroit here in the sim. Kucherov is going to end up winning the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Matthews again, the Maurice Richard. The Norris will go to Cale Makar. Lucas Raymond, the Conn Smythe. There's no way. Bassey will win the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Sasha Barkov of the Florida Panthers. Now, at the end of year number 3, we are some sort or somehow going to have a bit of a comeback season. 40 wins, 30 losses, 12 in overtime for 92 points. The Vancouver Canucks were the best team in our division, winning 49 games, and the Colorado Avalanche for the entire NHL, 54 wins on the season, also 112 points. They were a dynamo this year. Connor McDavid will lead our team, 41 goals, 95 points. Kyle Connor had 82, also 30 goals. Bedard, 40 goals season by Bedsy. Garland had 59, Sheary 51, and Logan O'Connor 49. And for Hellebuck, 31, 25, and 8, 5 shutouts. And he also had a .910 save percentage. Connor McDavid will lead the league in scoring with 108 points. Not our McDavid, but the Oilers McDavid. Stammer had 104, Kucherov 102, Draisaitl 101, and Matthews 95. Again, Matthews leading in goals. This guy simulates insanely well. 62 on the season, past that 52, Kaprizov 48, and Connor McDavid 46. Now, if we take a look at the goalies, UC Saros will have the most wins at 43. And for shutouts, it will have to go to John Gibson and Ilya Sorokin, tying at 7 apiece. Now, in the first round, we are going to be playing the Vegas LTIR cheater, so Mark Stone probably will be ready for game number 1. We know that for a fact, Gary Bettman. But hopefully, we can have a very long postseason run and maybe make the Stanley Cup Finals at least, please. And again, the team of Connors are first-round exits to the Vegas Golden Knights in 6 games. They dominated us, dude. 5-0 L when our season is on the line. That is just straight up disrespectful. And the Boston Bruins would go on and win the Stanley Cup, beating Vancouver in Game 7 of the Finals. A literal, exactly the way it went down in 2011. Game 7 loss for Vancouver over Boston. That's literally hilarious. Again, we did not have really much of a postseason run. McDavid led our team 7 points, 2 goals. Bedard had 6, Connor 6, and Sheary had 5. And Hellebuck, I mean, oh my God, Connor Hellebuck had an .895 save percentage. This dude is the only 93 overall goal goalie I know that absolutely shits the bed in the postseason. McDavid will take home the Ted Lindsay, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Matthews again, the Maurice Richard. Adam Fox is going to win the Norris. JVR, the Conn Smythe. James Van Riemsdyk, are you kidding me? UC Saros, the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Connor McDaddy. Now, so far, honestly, not so good. We are 4 years in, I think, or 3 years into the sim, and we've yet to even make it out of the second round. So hopes on winning a Stanley Cup might honestly be out the window at this point. I'm hoping for a long playoff run. I don't know if we'll get that, but I mean, I hope to God we can at least take home one Stanley Cup for all the Connors that are in the NHL right now. Now, at the end of year number 4, the Columbus team Connors are going to barely sneak into the postseason. 43, 33, and 6, 92 points. Vancouver again was the best team in the NHL, or the best team in our division. Tampa Bay was the best in the NHL, damn near winning 60 games. 125 points is absolutely bonkers. Of course, McDavid again leading our team, 34 goals, 95 points. Kyle Connor had 84, Bedard 78, Garland had 52, Sheary was up there, McMichael had 47, and Logan O'Connor 42. And for Connor Hellebuck, 34, 25, and 6, 4 shutouts, and finally his save percentage is back up to a 916. I can live with this. If Hellebuck does this year after year, we should be able to get to the postseason and hopefully make a deep playoff run. Again, Austin Matthews will dominate the sim, leading in goals with 69 and points with 118. Kucherov had 113, Marner 112, Stammer 107, and Nylander 106. And on the goal side, other than Matthews, Stammer had 50, a big season by the 34-year-old. Pasternak had 46, Eichel 44, and Mikko Rantanen had 43. Vasi broke the all-time wins record for a single season for a goalie with 51, and for the shutouts, it will also go to Demko, Vasi, and Anderson, all tying at 7 apiece on the year. Now, in the first round of the playoffs, again, we got to play the Minnesota Wild. I'm hoping for at least a playoff series victory. I mean, we have not made it out of the first round yet in this video, and we only have one more year after this season, so the clock is definitely ticking. Finally, we win a playoff series, sweeping the Minnesota Wild, and now in round number 2, we have the Dallas Stars. And unfortunately, the Dallas Stars would end up beating us in 6 games in the second round, as we only have one more season to try to win a Stanley Cup with a team full of Connors. And shout out to the Dallas Stars going on and beating the Hurricanes in 6 games in the finals to take home the Lord Stanley Cup. In the postseason, we did play 10 games. The longs of the video, McDavid had 7 goals, 16 points. Kyle Connor had 14. Bedard had 12. O'Connor 8. And Connor Garland 7. And for Hellebuck, I mean, he rocked a 914 save percentage, so I can't really get mad at him. He was not really the problem for our loss in the postseason. We probably just came up against a better Dallas Stars team. Austin Matthews will take home all the individual awards. The Norris will go to Cale Makar. Joe Pavelski is going to win the Conn Smythe. Andrei Vasilevsky, the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Alexander Barkov. As the team full of Connors now only have one more season left to try to prove the hockey world wrong and go on and win a Stanley Cup. Can they do it? Let's go ahead and find that out right now. Also, if you guys have made it this far in the video, what are you doing? Hit that like and subscribe button. Turn on post notifications so you get notified when I go live or when I post a video. And now it is time to see if we can actually make the playoffs, as we're 8-10-3 to start the season and finally go on and win a goddamn Stanley Cup. And unfortunately, in the 5th and final season, the team of Connors are going to absolutely fold. 33 wins. 43 losses, 6 in overtime, only 72 points, second last in our division, as the Edmonton Oilers won the most games, 46 in our division. And for the entire NHL, it was the Colorado Avalanche winning 53. Connor McDavid will lead our team again, 37 goals, 97 points. Kyle Connor had 88, Garland's only 68. I mean, offensively, we're kind of challenged. Bedard had 64, Dewar 43, Sheary 41. Also defensively, we are pretty bad. Taking a look at our decor, there's not really one average defenseman that we have on our roster, but Hellebuck, 28, 33, and 6, only a 907 save percentage and 3 shutouts on the year. Austin Matthews yet again is going to lead the NHL in goals with 62 and points with 109. Kucherov had 106, Pettersson 105, and Nylander 99. Mitch Marner and McDavid also had great seasons. And on the goal side, other than Matthews, Kucherov led with 53. Skinner had 44, Mikko Rantanen 44, and Tage Thompson 43. And if we take a look at the goalies, Vasi will have the most wins at 44. Jake Ottinger at 41, Georgiev 39, and on the shutout side, Sergei Bobrovsky and Andrei Vasilevsky are going to tie with 8 shutouts apiece in the regular season, which is honestly pretty crazy. 8 shutouts is a lot for an 82-game year. And the New Jersey Devils would go on, beat the Dallas Stars in Game 7 of the finals to capture the Stanley Cup. Shout out to Jack Hughes getting his first ring. Jason Robertson led the postseason in scoring. He had 13 goals, 27 points. Hamilton had 26. Hughes, 24. Jesper Bratt had 22. Tyler Seguin was good. Matt Duchene was up there. Austin Matthews will take home the Ted Lindsay, Maurice Richard, Art Ross, and Hart Trophy. Cale Makar is going to win the Norris. Dougie Hamilton, the Conn Smythe. Georgiev, the Vezina, and the Selke will go to Alexander Barkov, as he was the best player or the best defensive player in the entire league this season. So the Stanley Cup Finals starts tonight. We have the Edmonton Oilers up against the Florida Panthers. My Oilers finally making the Cup Final for the first time since 2006, and I've been calling my shot all year long. The Oilers are going to win the Stanley Cup. Now it seems possible. Now it seems real to everybody. But the first things first is we got to go in and we are going to be simulating the entirety of the Stanley Cup Finals. I'm going to go in. We are going to watch every single game of this finals action, and we are going to see who comes out on top, lifting the Stanley Cup here in 2024. And here we are, Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals in 2024. I don't know why the playoff mode gave the Oilers home ice advantage, even though Florida technically does have it in real life. But regardless, we are getting underway here. Oilers, Panthers, who's going to take home the Stanley Cup? Let's find out. Hyman starting off the game nice, coming in. Hyman, okay, he's taking his time, blasting it from the point. All right, we are going to see a lot of diabolical play from the computer AI, obviously, and the first power play will go to the Florida Panthers. And Montour, I believe, took the penalty, but he was the one that drew it. Montour back to Tarasenko in the middle. Edmonton power play or penalty kill in the playoffs so far, I believe, has killed off 27 straight penalty kills in the middle, and they've even scored a few short-handed. So we know they're going to be dangerous here. Montour skating the puck up. All right, it's early in the morning, but I got to lock in here. Luosterainen goes wide on Stuart Skinner McLeod. He's got the wheels. McLeod and Henrique 2-on-1. McLeod over to Nurse. Nurse couldn't even get a shot off McLeod. Back to Nurse again. Nurse shooting, and a great save by Bobrovsky. The power play now is over. We got the big guns out. Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman. I believe Chris Knobloch always throws these 3 out after a penalty kill, but I believe they're probably going to be playing together. Uh-oh, Verhaeghe in the middle. Good D by Evan Bouchard. Evan Bouchard in this playoff run has been absolutely electric. I literally cannot believe it. This dude has been playing like the best defenseman in hockey. Bouchard back at the point, and another great save by Bob. As a bit of back and forth action so far, 13:31 left in the first period. Obviously, this could go 7 games. We might be here a while. Hopefully, it only goes 5 or 6 for my liking, as I do not want to sit here and watch the computers play 7 straight games against each other. Kane coming in, Evander Kane. Kane trying to wrist one on net. Doesn't get to go, though. Barkov, counterattack here. Oh, Barkov coming in. The Selke nominee, most likely going to win the Selke. In the middle. I don't know if they announced any of the awards yet. I haven't seen any, but I heard they're doing it over the course of June. I don't think there's an award show. Maybe there is. I don't know. It's a little bit weird this year. Regardless, Tkachuk coming down. Tkachuk gets bodied at the blue line. Who's 51 on our team? Is that Troy Stetcher? Troy Stetcher does not even play in the playoffs, yet he's here in the 24 sim. Perry coming in. Perry shooting. Again, shots on net are not going to be something that we see often the computers get. Tkachuk in the middle there. Lundell. And a great save by Stuart Skinner. Ekholm moving it up to Hyman. Zachary Hyman. 14 goals in the playoffs already. McDavid. There it is. Connor McDavid starts off the scoring. Who else would it be besides the best player in all of hockey? Connor McDavid. Most likely a Conn Smythe favorite here in the playoffs. But of course, Zach Hyman to McDavid, a little bit different. Usually it's McDavid to Hyman, but regardless, McDavid starts us off with a fluky little goal there. I don't even know. As the Oilers are going to take an early 1-0 lead here in game number 1 on home ice. Obviously, in real life, I mean, Florida. Game 1's going to be in Florida. And another power play headed to the Panthers. Zach Hyman takes a tripping call. Are you kidding me, Shaq Hyman? What are you doing, brother? Again, there's no Popeyes in the box, Shaq. Come on. If you know, you know. All right, the Oilers penalty kill are going to have to kill 29 straight now. They got to lock in. They killed the first one. Skinner makes an easy save. 5 minutes to go in the first period. Bennett taking the draw against Sam Carrick, I believe. It is Sam Carrick. And we win it. Nurse, get it out. Oh, Verhaeghe wins it back. Verhaeghe walking in. Back to Montour. Another good save by Stu. The Oilers penalty kill has been absolutely lights out this playoff run. Can they continue? Down low, Ekholm. Get it out, Ekholm. Move that puck out, brother. You're on the penalty kill, Ekholm. Okay, Ekholm's going to turn it over. Very unlike him to do so, especially on the penalty kill. Nurse. Darnell Nurse dumps it in. Wow. In what world is Darnell Nurse the responsible one and Matthias Ekholm is the one making turnovers? EA Sports, man. You guys are crazy. Verhaeghe. Another great save by Stu. Stu was amazing in the Western Conference Finals. Outside of game number 3, even game 3, he didn't play that bad in my opinion. Just that one goal was pretty bad on Jason Robertson. Outside of that, lights out in game 6. Really stole that game for us. Nuge moves it up to Perry. 30 seconds left in period number 1. The Oilers had to kill a few here in the first, but they killed both of them, and they also got their early lead as we are headed to the intermission with a 1-0 Edmonton Oilers lead in game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. All right, here we are for period number 2. 1-0 lead for the Oilers. Obviously, a bit of a back-and-forth period. The Oilers did have to kill off 2 penalties, but outside of that, the chances were far and in between. I think that's the saying. Regardless, Draisaitl behind the net trying to find McDavid. McDavid bodies him. McDavid out in front. Great save by Bobrovsky. Again, Bouchard, Hyman. Hyman walking in over to Nurse. Nurse on net. McDavid was there. Bob had no energy as well. McDavid could have got the rebound and possibly put that in the back of the net. Forsling. Good D. We had 2 D. Oh, no, we didn't. That was Draisaitl in the middle. Ooh, nice save by Stu there. That was a little tricky shot. Up to McDavid, Nurse. Okay, Nurse is going to skate it out. Over to Draisaitl. Over to McDavid. And Bobrovsky makes the save. Now, I did set the period length for 3 minutes. Now, I did set the game length for 3 minutes just to make sure these games would fly by. Even with all the stoppages, we're probably not going to be flying by. That's almost 9 minutes of real in-game time that I have to sit here every single game and watch the computers dick around back and forth. Kane in the middle, and Evander Kane gives the Edmonton Oilers a 2-0 lead in game number 1 from Corey Perry and Cody Ceci. Perry put it on net. Kane just found it, and 5-hole on Bobrovsky. What on earth are you doing, Bob? That was somewhat of a broken play in front of the net there. Oh, Bobrovsky needs to have that. As the Oilers have come out strong here in game number 1. 2-0 lead. We've had a lot of 2-0 leads in the playoff run so far. We've given up most of them, in all honesty. Kane absolutely wrecks. Who was that? Was it Tarasenko that he bodied? Oh my God, Kane is a madman right now. Ekholm moves it up to Tarasenko. Verhaeghe halfway through the period. Halfway through the entire game as well. Perry moving on up. Over to Cody Ceci. Cody Ceci. Over to Nuge. And Nugent Hopkins is going to snipe it. Low blocker. Sergei Bobrovsky is in absolute shambles right now. 3 weak goals that he should have had. And the Florida Panthers are going to trail by 3 midway through the second period of game number 1. Bobrovsky desperately needed to have that, man. Honestly, there's no excuse for Bob not having pretty much all the goals so far. He's been weak to start the Stanley Cup Finals. Rodriguez coming out in front, and Skinner makes 2 great saves, keeping the Oilers up by 3. Janmark over to Fogle. Warren Fogle coming in. Fogle in the middle of Kulak. Kulak just bodied off the puck by Rodriguez. Or maybe it was Rodriguez. It might be Rodriguez. Regardless, it doesn't matter. Mahura coming in. Over. Little broken play in front. Fogle, get that out. There we go. Up to Henrique. Obviously, you guys know who I'm cheering for in the Stanley Cup Finals. Janmark! And finally, Bobrovsky makes a save. He's not made a lot throughout this entire game. Florida down by 3. Not a great start. Hyman coming in. Hyman. Janmark. Janmark shooting. Easy save by Bob. That wasn't really a great shot in all honesty. Hyman is on that puck like a dog. Zachary Hyman will not be denied right now. Oh my God. Rodriguez getting it out. 3:30 left in the second period. McDavid goes for a hit, misses it. Good save by Skinner. I thought that was honestly might have gone in. Who is 17 and why is he down on the ice? Skinner. Another great save. Leon Draisaitl coming out. Draisaitl Shooting it? No, he's going to put it down low to McDavid out in front. Hyman! And a great save by Bob. He's going to play that puck, though. We got almost less than a minute remaining in the second period. Can Florida get on the board before the start of the third? Bouchard, great defensive play on Tkachuk. Up to McDavid. McDavid got the wheels. McDavid, nice pass to Nurse. And a good save by Bob. Hyman down low. Draisaitl rebound in front. And we are headed to the third period with a 3-0 Oilers lead. And here we go. Game number 1, third period is underway. Oilers have a massive lead, 3-0. And to start the period, Connor McDavid gives the Oilers another insurance marker. Second of the night for McDavid, and second beautiful pass by Hyman. Going reverse, setting up McDavid in game number 1. Holy hell. When did Zachary Hyman turn into a prime Connor McDavid, just dishing out the amazing sauce? Watch this. Beautiful pass, backdoor. McDavid tapping to give the Oilers a 4-0 lead in the third period. This is pretty much wraps, in all honesty. I don't want to jinx myself here or anything, but the Oilers, unless they have an absolutely awful collapse, they should have game number 1 in the bag here. Obviously, a lot of time left. 18 minutes to go in the third. Florida going to be pushing here in the middle. Tkachuk, and there it is. Matthew Tkachuk gets the Florida Panthers on the board, and we are back to a 3-goal lead for the Oilers. Obviously, Stu is not going to let in no goals for the entire series, so 1 is fine. But I mean, we gotta definitely put on our defensive hats here. We have a let's go Oilers chant happening right now in Rogers Place. Man, Rogers Place was absolutely buzzing for Game 6. That was the loudest I've ever seen a hockey building in some time. The Oilers fan base is truly different. Reinhardt. I mean, what else do you have to do in Edmonton besides their hockey? They don't really have anything else. Oh my God, Skinner was way out of his crease there. All right, Hyman, Shaq Hyman coming in. Hyman dishing again to Draisaitl. Man, when did Zach Hyman turn into a playmaker? He's supposed to be the finisher. McDavid down low. Oh, McDavid looks like a god out there on the ice, man. I turned up the attribute effects to 10 out of 10, so the best players are going to play like the best players, like McDavid, and there it is. Connor McDavid hat trick in game number 1. He's been all over the ice, and he starts out his first ever Stanley Cup Finals game with a goddamn hat trick. He's the best ever. That's it. It's over. The debate is over. McDavid is on one for this first ever Stanley Cup final. He wants his Stanley Cup, baby. I don't even know how that went in. He was behind the net. 5-1 Oilers here halfway through the third period. Going to be tough for the Florida Panthers to get back in this game, in all honesty. They might have to just regroup and get ready. Oh, they're headed to the power play, though. Again, another penalty kill for the Oilers. Can they kill off 30 straight in the playoffs? It's going to be a massive kill for the Oilers. I mean, we don't want to give Florida any momentum here in the third period, as Montour is going to skate it out. Florida yet to score in the power play. Edmonton's killed 29 straight now, counting all the kills in this game. I'll have to try to keep track of that throughout this series, but I'm sure Florida eventually is going to score a power play goal. Although in real life, I believe they have the worst power play, and there it is. Sam Bennett breaks the streak, gets the second of the night for the Panthers, and the Edmonton Oilers are not going to kill off 30 straight. Although in real life, out of the Final Four, I saw a statistic that Florida has the worst power play out of any four that were remaining in the conference finals. Edmonton obviously had the best power play and penalty kill. Special teams is a major part of this game. Tarasenko in the middle. All right, boys, things are getting a little scary now. It's only a 3-goal game. Florida, if they get some momentum here, they might be able to get back. Forsling back to Bennett. Over to Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe doesn't get a shot off. McDavid skates it out. Look at that. McDavid is so fast out there. He could just go end to end so effortlessly. It's absolutely crazy. Attribute effects, 10 out of 10. Definitely a good move for this sim. We've tested it out. Oh my God, Tarasenko. We've tested it out with a lot of GM modes to see what is the best sliders to use if we're going to watch the games. And I think we found a good pair. We had 7 goals in this game, so goals galore, which is nice to have. I don't want to have a 1-0 game. Very boring. Ekholm shooting. No rebound by Bob. Now, if all things go well, I'm hoping for a sweep for the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, I don't want to sit here and watch 7 games of computer AI hockey, but you never know. We could be in store for a long series. Hopefully, in real life, we get 6, maybe even 7 games. My prediction, chat, is Oilers in 6. That is why I've been predicting since we have advanced to the Stanley Cup Finals. A lot of you guys have been asking me. Oilers in 6 is the move to go. Ekblad over. No goal. The referee is going to call no goal on the ice. Goalie interference possibly. Ekblad centers it. And who was that? Lundell? Yeah, that's got to be goalie interference. And it was, in fact, no goal. We got 1:55 remaining in the third period of game number 1. Let's wrap up game 1, Oilers, and head to game 2 and try to take... Oh, no, Ekblad again. Ekblad! Get it out, Kane. Get it out. Evander Kane skating it out to Nuge. Less than a minute to go in the third. Florida might want to pull their goal if they get a shot here, but we got control of the puck right now. Nurse! All over the Panthers. Are they going to pull him? 45 seconds to go. Bob is still in the crease. Reinhart beyond the net. Reinhart out in front. Barkov trying to shoot it. Skinner's going to make the easy save. 38 seconds to go of game number 1. 5-2 lead for the Oilers. Can they hold on? I mean, we only got a minute left. We should be able to hold on to a 3-goal lead. Less than a minute to go in the game. 30 seconds. Dump and chase. There we go. Who was 13? Was that Janmark? I think Janmark's 13. Fogle, Janmark, and Ryan McLeod. Oh, no, we have Henrique out there. Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk. Okay. 20 seconds left in the game, and Florida gets their third of the night. It just might be too little too late for the Panthers, in all honesty, though. 5-3 lead for the Oilers. 20 seconds to go. Florida definitely going to be pushing here. At least we've had a lot of goals in this game. Bennett over to Fogle. Empty net for Florida. Okay, why would Warren Fogle... Oh my God, what is going on? Henrique, is that Henrique Janmark? There it is! Matthias Janmark, empty netter. He would not be denied. That was probably the worst play I've ever seen in my life. You literally cannot make up this computer AI. It'll never get old. Literally never. And there we go. The Oilers will take game number 1. Score 6-3 as we head to game number 2. All right, let's see if the Edmonton Oilers can take a 2-0 series lead here in the Stanley Cup Finals over the Florida Panthers. I believe they won game 1 6-3. High-scoring affair. It was 5-1 at one point, but obviously in the third period, Florida was going to push and be the more aggressive team. But now we start out 0-0. McDavid coming in right away. McDavid trying to set the tone. Hat trick in game number 1. Draisaitl. McDavid had a massive night. 3 goals. Hyman, I believe, had 3 apples as well. Reinhart over to Barkov. But with the computer AI, you never truly know what's going to happen. McDavid flying down the wing. Hyman misses the net on that play. Nurse shooting tip in front. Good save by Bobrovsky, though, starting out game 2 solid. He let in some questionable goals in game number 1. Reinhart, good save by Stu. Stu was solid, although he did give up 3 goals. Still, a lot of those came in the third period when it didn't matter. Bouchard, thank you for that cover, dude. Up to Leon Draisaitl. Draisaitl trying to deke in. Doesn't get to... Ooh, that was a sneaky little play. Dry, out in front. Over, Hyman, back to Bouchard. Locked on net, though. Tkachuk. Gonna skate it out. Tkachuk looking... Easy save by Stu. He's going to play it right to Tkachuk, though. Oh, no. Montour coming in. And Tkachuk misses the bat out of midair. Back to Ekman-Larsson right off the draw. Florida won a clean draw there. Oh, Sam Bennett. Why would Stu ever play that? Full pressure for the Panthers. Coming out game 2 hot. They want to tie this series up. They do not want to go down 2-0 headed back to Florida. Ekblad. Why do I keep saying that? Tarasenko. Another great save by Stu, putting on a performance right now. Ekman-Larsson. Rob Bennett. Oh my God, Stu, you are amazing. Stu's in the chat for that. Holy hell. Ekblad. Over to Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe moving up. 9 minutes to go in the first period. No score yet. The Edmonton Oilers did not take a penalty, which is also good. Henrique over to Janmark. Janmark shooting. Matthias Janmark got the empty netter in game 1. Fogle, a great save, sprawling save, rebound, and Warren Fogle will take the lead for the Edmonton Oilers as Sergei Bobrovsky was down in his crease. Could not get up. He's fallen and he could not get up. As just like in game number 1 in the first period, the Oilers are going to jump out to an early 1-0 lead in the game. All right. We got a series here, boys. The Edmonton Oilers are here to play. Mahora over to Luosterainen. Another great save by Stu. Stu's been solid so far. Very solid, especially early on in this first period, making save after save on the Florida Panthers. Keeping his Oilers in this game. Rodriguez doesn't get a shot on net. Fogle moves it up to Sam Carrick. Sam Carrick coming in. Carrick finding the middle. McLeod. Rebound. Great save by Bob on Fogle. Trying for his second of the night. Fogle or McLeod from the net. McLeod again. Still has it. And Bobrovsky shuts the door. We got, I believe, third line versus third line, maybe fourth line. Full pressure for the Oilers. Okposo. Darnell Nurse with a horrible turnover. At least they get his real-life likeness. Why do we have Bouchard and Nurse out there? Shouldn't it be Ekholm and Bouchard? Oh my God, EA Sports. Update your lines. Nurse up to McLeod. McLeod skating in, taking his time. McLeod shooting. Doesn't get a shot on net, though. Final 10 seconds of the first period, and the Oilers are going to come out with a 1-0 lead after 20. All right, here we are in the second period. The Oilers hold a 1-0 lead, but obviously that is not much, especially because of the fact that we had, what was it, 9 goals scored in game 1? Only 1 here after 20 minutes, but that is okay. Hyman, we get the big guns out. Hyman turns it over to Barkov. Selke Barkov takes that takeaway. Barkov in the middle, Reinhart. Over to Forsling, back to Tkachuk. Sniped in game 1, trying again. I believe that might have hit the post, maybe? Draisaitl moves in and off Hyman. Zachary Hyman in the middle to McDavid. Over to Dry. McDavid shooting. Rebound is there. But nobody can get on it. Forsling moves it on up to Brendan Montour. Skating that puck out. Over to Tkachuk. Great save by Stu. Making saves back. Oh my God. Barkov had a clean 1T there. Nursey. What are you doing, Nurse? Darnell behind the net. Darnell still looking. Darnell out in front. And Bob is going to make the save. Big draw here for the Oilers. They lose it. Bennett is going to skate it out up to Ekblad. We got 14:25 left to go in the second period. Almost halfway through the game. The Oilers hold a 1-0 lead. Stuart Skinner flashing the leather. Holy hell. 13:37 left in the first period. Stu made a great glove save there. I cannot believe it. Skinner's been playing great. He's been playing very good in this finals. Perry coming in. The worm. The worm. The early bird gets the worm. And the early bird also not only gets the worm, but gets Connor Bedard. Okay, I'm not going to go there. That's way overused. I know. I say it all the time. I'm done. Never going to use that joke again. Perry coming in again. Draws a power play for the Oilers. Their first of the series. This is a massive power play for the Oilers. Why do we got Henrik Hyman? What is going on the power play? We got a Kane, Henrik. Is that Warren Fogle out there on the power? Oh my God, where is power play number 1? Why do we not have Dry McDavid? I can't even, I guess. Fogle trying for his second of the night. Questionable call by Chris Knobloch. I'm not going to lie. We have Kane Bouchard, Zach Hyman, Fogle, and Adam fucking Henrique. Oh my God, we just wasted the entire power play. Oh no, Hyman in the middle. Kane, rebound! Oh my God, the rebound was there. Lorentz skating it on up. 7:30 left in the second. Tkachuk trying to blast one just like his daddy. Pause. No diddy. Blasted it into... Okay, I'm not going to go there. Hyman over to Fogle. Fogle coming in. Shot on net. There's a rebound, but there's no forward crashing the net. We need F2 to drive the net. F3 stay high. That's the rule of thumb in hockey. You learn that when you're like 6-7 years old. Oh no, in front, Reinhart! Another great save by Stu. It's only a 1-0 lead for the Oilers. A much more defensive game, in all honesty. Hyman is Shaq Hyman trying to draw another penalty, and the Oilers head to the PP. This is a massive draw for Connor McDavid, and he loses it. Montour, though, we're on the forecheck. Oh, Bennett skates it out. 3:20 left in the third. Power play for the Oilers. Dwindling down, though. Only 1:15 left to go. All right, Draisaitl, here we go. Make some magic. Draisaitl's been basically invisible so far in the finals. Against Dallas, he was not great either in real life. McDavid really took over the... Ekholm, what are you doing? Matthias Ekholm, we're on the goddamn power play. Move it up, Nuge. Nuge stepped up big. There it is, McDavid. Over. Leon gets robbed. And Connor, is that Connor? No, that is Nugent Hopkins taking a tripping penalty as the Oilers are now going to head to the penalty kill after not cashing in on 2 straight power plays. This could be... oh no, less than 10 seconds to go. Barkov rips it wide. Uh-oh. Ekholm, or why do I keep saying Ekblad? There we go. And the Oilers are going to have to kill a penalty to start the third period here in game number 2. All right, here we go. Third period, game 2. Penalty kill for the Oilers right off the rip. They hold on to a 1-0 lead, so it doesn't look like they have much insurance. As I mean, Florida could easily tie this game up. Ekholm on the forecheck. There we go. 4-on-4 hockey, McLeod. All right. We now have 4-on-4 hockey. Lots of room for McDavid and Dry to work some magic here. Hopefully get an insurance marker for the Oilers. Nurse. McDavid, that's your puck. You're faster than any... Oh, my God. McDavid over. Bouchard. McDavid. Floaty little backhander. I didn't like that. Now we're on the power play for like 30 seconds. But I don't think it's really going to matter too much. Montour over to Sam Bennett. Doesn't get a shot on net, but does get a whistle. 17-18 left in the third period. Massive draw in our own zone. Lundell behind the net. Lundell looking. He's looking back to the point. Ekman Larson. Good save by Stu. Stu's been solid. Lundell again over Reinhart. Another great save by Skinner. What a monster Stuart Skinner has been here. There we go. Another power play headed to the Oilers. A lot of penalties here in game 2. Finally, we do have the big guns out here for power play number 1. Draisaitl, McDavid, Nuge. We got Kane on the point with Bouchard. Honestly, very questionable. I don't know why. Why is Zach Hyman on the second PP? That doesn't make any sense. You think EA would update their power play lines, but regardless, Bouchard. Let's have a clean breakout here. Draisaitl. There we go. Moves it up to McDavid. Up to Evander Kane. Over to Nuge. Nuge turns it over, but regains it. Another turnover to Kyle Okposo, former captain of the Buffalo Sabres, believe it or not. And we're just going to let him skate end to end. All right. Power play pretty much over. Oh, there's not... I don't think we have a single power play goal this series yet. Florida got 1, so the power plays haven't been great to teams. Over McDavid. Doesn't get a shot on net. He should have shot there. Wide open lane to the net. Doesn't get a shot. All right, halfway through the third for Hagee. Kane moves up to McDavid. McDavid up to Dry. Back to McDavid. Here we go. Nuge shooting. No rebound by Bob. I'm just realizing this now, but this could be a very long video if we end up going 7 games. I mean, I've been recording for 26 minutes already, and we're not even halfway through the third period of game 2. And it's a first to 4. Bennett rings it off the bar. Holy hell, that was close. Sam Bennett was so close to tying the game up for the Panthers. Hyman rips a clap shot, slap shot, clap bomb. Regardless, shot on net is a shot on net. The Edmonton Oilers are going to have to be very defensive here as they try to hold on to a 1-0 lead. Very low-scoring game in Game 2. Honestly surprised after that barn burner we had in Game 1. Tip on net. Oh, my God. It almost went in. And another power play headed to the Oilers. Aaron Ekblad, 2 minutes for slashing. Now, this power play is absolutely huge for the Oilers. I mean, if they score here, that might be the game for the Florida Panthers. Hyman over. Ekholm on net. Doesn't get it to go. Nice block in front. Nurse! Another block in front. No shot on net for the Oilers on the power play. If they can get an insurance marker, that might be game 2. Then they head to Florida with a 2-0 series lead. That would be magical, please. Please let me see. Oh, here we go. Henrique. Why is Henrique out there? Henrique over. Great save by Bob. Nurse behind the net. Back to the point. Fogle. Ekholm. Another great save by Bobrovsky. We got 5:51 remaining in the third period. Still a 1-0 lead for the Oilers as the power play runs out. Ekblad coming right out of the box. Kulikov in the middle. Nice steal by McDavid. Go, McDavid. McDavid is gone on the breakaway. Connor McDavid pulls out the between the legs and doesn't get it to go. Why? Why, EA? Why do you have your computer AI programmed to do a fucking between the legs in the Stanley Cup Finals on a breakaway? I know McDavid's that guy, but come on. I would like a better shot than that. Draisaitl over. Great save by Bobrovsky. Keeping the Panthers in it right now. McDavid behind the net. In the middle, Nuge. Another great save. Bob has no energy, dude. If we had one more shot on net, we probably would have tucked it in. Rodriguez coming down. Oh, my God. My voice is going to be gone by the end of this video. Bouchard, skate it out. Bouchard, get it in deep. Bouchard, shot on net. There's a rebound. McDavid, that's your puck. Uh-oh, get back. Less than a minute to go. Florida Panthers empty their net. Kachuk trying to tie up the game. Can we force overtime? No, I do not want overtime, please. I don't know how long that will last. There we go. Draw the power play, Corey Perry. 36 seconds to go here in the third period. Hyman behind the net. Okay, who was that to? Fogle. Fogle rips it on net. Great save by Bob, though. Hyman again. Ekholm back to Nurse. Just as long as we can kill some clock here, in all honesty. I don't care if we get an insurance marker. Wind down the clock. 20 seconds to go. This might be the final rush for the Florida Panthers as they got to tie this game. Empty net for Florida. Oh, good D. We got good D here. Ekblad. No, Ekblad. Get it out, Ekholm. Get it out. Move it up, Hyman. Hyman, skate. And the Edmonton Oilers are going to take a 2-0 series lead over the Florida Panthers in the Stanley Cup Finals. And here we go. Game number 3 in Florida. The Panthers are down 2-0 in this series, so they have to have a huge effort here if they do not want to get swept. I mean, we go up 3-0. That might be wraps on the series, and that might be wraps for Connor McDavid winning his first ever Stanley Cup. All right, I'm not going to get too far ahead of myself. We got a big game here in Sunrise, Florida. McDavid coming down the win. He's been awesome. He's been awesome or awesome. Oh, my God, Pasta. What are you doing? That was a good shot on net, though. Well, McDavid hat-trick in Game 1. I believe he got a goal or an assist in Game 2. Actually, no, that was Warren Fogle. A 1-0 victory for the Oilers in Game 2. A very low-scoring affair after a barn burner in Game 1, but hopefully we have a little more goals here in Game 2. Game 3, I should say. Game 2 was a little bit boring, in my opinion, but hopefully we can have a much stronger effort Coming down the wing over the dry settle. McDavid's got the rebound. Oh, McDavid, horrible turnover to Barkov on the odd man rush in. Darnell Nurse sends Alexander Barkov back to Finland. Draisaitl moves it up. McDavid taking his time. Bouchard over to Dry. Dry looking. Dry's looking. Still looking. Carter Verhaeghe. No, Bouchard. Good D play by Bouchard. Over to Nursey. Nursey up to Nuge. Nuge to Evander Kane. And we draw the first power play of the outing as we are headed to the PP early here in the first period. This could be an awesome opportunity for the Oilers to take a 1-0 lead in this game and really take a stranglehold in the series. I mean, 3-0 leads are hard to come by. Oh my God, Fogle! Warren Fogle on the power play. What are we doing? Hyman over Fogle, and a great glove save by Bobrovsky. After game number 1, Bobrovsky really has been keeping the Panthers in the game and in the series. I mean, game 1 was not his best effort, but game 2, he only allowed 1 goal and was stellar. And in game 3 so far, he's been very good. Also, I forgot to mention, Stuart Skinner shutout in the Stanley Cup Finals in game 2. What? If he does that in the finals in real life, I literally will never, ever say a bad word about a Skinner again, even though I'm the one usually protecting him. Now, for my recording for this video, I was going to go live on YouTube and have you guys in the chat interact with me during the game. But I mean, because of the fact that I am recording this at 9 a.m. in the morning, I don't think there's going to be too many people joining my stream, especially on a weekday. It is Wednesday, so I'm just going to record it. And that way you guys aren't going to... Oh, Rodriguez! Great save by Skinner. Then you guys won't get spoiled. And I mean, it will give you guys more of a motivation to watch the video. Lundell! Skinner has been holding us in this game. There's more reason to watch the video if you don't know who ends up winning the series or winning the Stanley Cup. Fogle back to Cody Ceci, tip on front, and Matthias Janmark will take the lead for the Edmonton Oilers. In every game so far, the Oilers have scored first, and they take a 1-0 lead in the game. All right, so the Oilers come out to an early 1-0 lead, just like in game 1, just like in game 2, and now in game number 3, as they've really controlled the game, controlled the most of the series as well. Verhaeghe coming down, Carter Verhaeghe, finding Sam Bennett. Verhaeghe again, back to Mahura. Finally, the Panthers are getting some shots on net here. Troy Stetcher moves it up to Nuge. Over to Kane. Kane's got a little bit of room to work with. Blast a slap shot from the corner in the Rockstar zone. I mean, I don't know what Kane was doing there, in all honesty. He should have probably got a better shot than that, I'd say, especially in the Stanley Cup Finals. You don't want to give up possession to a Florida Panthers team who can score if you're not careful. Kulak. 7 seconds to go in the first period. Can the Oilers hold on? Stetcher rips it from the point, and Bobrovsky's going to make the save. And the Oilers come out of the first period with a 1-0 lead. All right, here we are in the second period of game number 3. Edmonton leading 1-0 again. They score first every single game of the series. Florida, if they want any shot at the Stanley Cup, they're going to have to start scoring goals and scoring first. You can't start every game behind and expect to win the series. I mean, that's absolutely crazy. I mean, McDavid, we're not worried about that. Nurse! Why would Darnell Nurse not shoot that? Had a grade A shot in the slot, and he just passes it up. The computer AI in this game, absolutely horrible. I'll probably mention that 100 times, but I don't even care. Barkov, great save by Stu. Big face-off won by McDavid. Bouchard skated out clean. There we go, up to McDavid. 16:20 left in the second period. McDavid over to Dry. Doesn't get the shot on net. McDavid first to the puck and draws a tripping penalty on Brendan Montour as we deploy power play number 2 out there. I don't know why we keep doing that. Chris Knobloch, I guess he's running with what has been working so far. Let's get power play number 1 out there. Coach Pasta has taken a little bit control of this game. Oh my God, what a horrible pass by Bouchard, especially on the power play. And there goes our PP. Skinner makes a save and he's going to play it. Okay, I thought he was going to cover the puck there. Draisaitl. Bodied at the blue line. McDavid, get in there on the forecheck, brother. There we go. 12:30 left in the second period. Halfway through the game. And the Oilers, just like in game 2, have a 1-0 lead. Holding on to for dear life, honestly. Tkachuk, there we go. Tkachuk coming in. Over to Barkov. Great save by Skinner. Skinner's been amazing. I cannot rave about how great he's been so far in the finals. Tkachuk moves over to Forsling. Forsling back to Tkachuk. Blasted. Rebound is there. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Tkachuk. Again, Barkov. Great save by Skinner. Skinner's been absolutely electric, keeping the Oilers up in this game. Up in every game so far. Janmark coming in. Janmark over. Doesn't get it to go. Sam Bennett gets bodied at the blue line by Nursey. Bouchard. Skated out, Bouchard. There we go. Use your wheels. Up to Henrique. Adam Henrique coming down. Henrique trying to find the middle of Fogle. Tarasenko. Counterattack by the Panthers. Counterattack for Tarasenko. Did he get a shot off there? I think that was a shot. I don't believe Cody Ceci blocked that. Up to Fogle. Fogle, let's get forward line number 2 out there. They got a lot of energy. Coach Pasta. Obviously, I'm on the side of the Oilers, baby. I don't care. You guys might call it cheating, but guess what? I want to see my Oilers raise the goddamn Stanley Cup. I forget. I believe Florida actually won the Stanley Cup Finals that we watched last season. Ekholm misses the net. We did Florida and Vegas. I think that went to 6 games, and Florida took home the Stanley Cup at the end of it. Luostarinen doesn't get a shot on net. But now, Florida again up against the Oilers instead. The Oilers, I mean, taking a look back at last season, obviously we were not ready. We didn't play that Vegas series like we should have. If we played Vegas this year, we definitely would have beat them. No doubt about that in my mind. We're a different team this year. We don't... Oh my God, Rodriguez over Lomberg. Rodriguez! 3 seconds to go. Mahura! Great save by Stu. Another great save as the Oilers head to the third period with a 1-0 lead, exactly like game number 2. And here we go. Period number 3 of game number 3. What was I saying? All right, yeah. If we played Vegas the way we played this year, I feel like we probably could have won the Stanley Cup last season. Obviously, that are what ifs. We'll never know about that because we didn't show up for half the Vegas series. But regardless of that, I mean, I'm happy about the Oilers finally making the Cup final. I mean, stepping up. Skinner's got more experience. He's been in big games, and now he's going to play in the biggest games of his career. So far, so good here in the Stanley Cup Finals for Stu. Uh-oh, Barkov. Nice. Draisaitl. Get it out, Dry. Please, Dry. No. Draisaitl. Down low to Barkov. Over to Montour. Kachuk. Florida's moving it around. Again, they're going to be pressuring hard in this third period. They're down by 1. Again, trying to score. No goals in game number 2. Can they get one here in game number 3? Kachuk. That's not offside. Okay, Draisaitl, turnover. Computer's just turning it over back and forth. All right, Draisaitl does a shitty little dump in. It works, though. Hyman doesn't get a shot on net. Draisaitl from a weird angle trying to snipe it. Short side, Montour. Barkov. Alexander Barkov. Over to Montour. And it is out of play. 14:41 left here in the third period. Bennett moves over to Ekblad. Tarasenko. Florida trying to find their first goal in a few games here. Stuart Skinner has been absolutely electric, man. Oh my God, Corey Berry got murdered by Ekblad there. Perry, you okay, brother? That was a big hit. Ekman Larson coming in. A lot of X in this series. Another easy save by Stu, and he's going to cover that up. Massive draw for the Oilers here. Sam Bennett is going to win it. Verhaeghe walking in. He had a clean lane to the net and doesn't get the shot that honestly he probably would have wanted. A better shot than what he got there. Kane almost took a penalty. Verhaeghe skating down halfway through the third period. Time is ticking on Florida. They got to tie this game up. Lots of time left for them to work with, but I mean, time is definitely not on their side. Kane rips it. Doesn't even get a shot on net. How do you rip it wide with no screen like that, dude? All right, Verhaeghe still out there. Over to Bennett. Turnover by Cody Ceci. Game 7 Cody Ceci is a different animal. Hopefully we don't have to go to Game 7, but if we do, I know in the bag we do have Ceci. Rodriguez coming in. Rodriguez over! Great save by Stu. Ekholm moves it on up. Move up to Ceci. Ekholm, move the puck, Ekholm. What are you doing? Oh no, Lundell. Horrible turnover for the Oilers. Rebound, and there it is. Florida finally beats Stuart Skinner with like 5 minutes to go in the third period from a horrible turnover by Matthias Ekholm, and we have a tie game here in game number 3. Rebound, and he beats Stuart Skinner. Matthias Ekholm definitely to blame for that Oilers goal, as Skinner's not going to get back-to-back shutouts. I mean, he was standing strong there for a while. Janmark, can the Oilers take the lead? I do not want overtime. Janmark over. Fogle! Great save by Bobrovsky, and he's going to save it, or he's going to cover it up, I should say. 4:45 remaining to go in the third period. The Oilers have a tie game now, as they're not going to be able to hold on to the lead for back-to-back games. Kachuk coming in. Kachuk. Nurse, nice save by Nurse. Up to McDavid. Connor McDavid coming in. McDavid looking, trying to find Bouchard. It was a smart pass, but Bouchard just couldn't get a handle on it. Nursey go. Darnell on the rush. Darnell in the middle. McDavid rebound. Another rebound. Put it home, McDavid. Put it home. Somebody please, McDavid. Great save by Borowski. He's going to play the puck after all that. He's going to play the puck. 1 minute to go in the third period. Uh-oh, Kachuk coming in. Great D by the Oilers. Hyman, 54 seconds to go in the third period. Hyman trying to find in the middle. Draisaitl, 5-hole, and Leon Draisaitl will take the lead for the Edmonton Oilers with 50 seconds remaining in game number 3. from Hyman and Bouchard. Finally, Leon steps up. Another great feed by Zach Hyman. And Bobrovsky has been beat a few times to the 5-hole here in the Stanley Cup Finals. Now, all the Edmonton Oilers need to do for 50 seconds is to kill the clock. Bouchard, dump it in. Please get it in. No. Kachuk, they're going to pull their goalie soon. No, we take a penalty. Corey Perry, are you kidding me? Why would Corey Perry take a penalty? A tripping penalty after all that. All right, this is a massive kill for the Oilers. They need to kill this off. 44 seconds to work with for the Florida Panthers. It's going to be longer as well because it's the final 30 seconds of the game. Clear it, Ekholm. Nice. Matthias Ekholm gets it out. Ryan McLeod on that forecheck. Ryan McLeod, kill the clock. 30 seconds remaining in Game 3. Panthers trying not to go down 3-0 in the series to the Edmonton Oilers. No! 27 seconds to go in the third period. My palms are sweaty. Knees weak. Arms are heavy. Get it out, Kulak. Get it out, Kulak. Rip it down the ice. There we go. 23 to go. 23 to go. Come on, that's your puck, Henrique. Henrique, empty net, and Adam Henrique, empty netter for the Oilers as they are going to go up 3-1 in the game and 3-0 in the series here in the Stanley Cup Finals. 1 win away. Oh my God, we're so close. The Panthers now down by 2. Another empty net. Bennett coming in. Sam Bennett, another great save by Skinner. Back to the point, Forsling. 5 seconds to go in this third period. Sam Carrick gonna skate it out. Misses the empty net, but it doesn't matter. The Edmonton Oilers are 1 win away from winning the Stanley Cup as they take a dominating 3-0 series lead over the Florida Panthers. And here we go. Game 4 in Sunrise, Florida. The Stanley Cup is in the building for the Edmonton Oilers as they have a shot at history. Connor McDavid trying to capture his first ever Stanley Cup of his career. And the Oilers putting the Florida Panthers on the brink of elimination. Here we go, boys. Please, EA, if you guys ever want to do me a favor, just end the series here tonight. I do not want to go to a Game 5. I do not want to watch the computer AI play any longer. I'm cool with that. McDavid shooting on net. Great save by Bob. Bob's been a little shaky, but he's been good at times as well. Nurse on net. Bobrovsky going to cover that up. And right off the rip here, Connor McDavid's going to take a tripping penalty headed to the box as the Oilers are going to have to kill off a very early penalty here. 17-15 in the first period, so not a great start. Kulak, dump it out, Kulak. Kulak. Okay, Kulak, please. Kulak on net. There we go. In the corner. Ryan McLeod is there. Ryan McLeod in the corner. Uh-oh. I don't know. Get back, boys. Now we get 2 forwards just hanging out in the neutral zone. McLeod, there we go. And the Oilers will kill it off. McLeod on net. Great save by Bob. Henrique bodies the defenseman in the corner. We're back to even strength. Luostarinen coming in. Luostarinen misses the net there. Florida trying not to get embarrassed here as they have not won a game in the series yet. Montour. The Oilers have just been the better squad, and they've scored first every single game so far this series. So, I mean, it's pretty safe to say if the Panthers do want to win this game, they need to score first. They cannot fall down again for the 4th game in a row to the Edmonton Oilers as they've not been able to mount a comeback. Last game was the closest. I mean, I thought we were going to have overtime. In the middle, Barkov! Alexander Barkov, great save by Skinner. Holy hell, what a save by Stuart Skinner. Florida coming so close to taking the early lead in the game here. They desperately need to do that. Nurse, board played in his own zone. Barkov, beyond the net, Barkov looking. Back to the point, Ekholm, over to Ekman-Larsson. And another great save by Stu, who is dead tired, by the way. A massive draw here. Nuge gonna lose it to, full pressure for the Panthers. This is not good. Ekman-Larsson walking in, and they are going to snipe as the Florida Panthers, for the first time in the series, score first and take a 1-0 lead here in the first period. All right, we have a much different game here in Sunrise, Florida. Game 4. The Panthers do not want to get swept. They do not want to get embarrassed. Corey Perry moving on up. Perry. No. 8:20 left to go in the first. Bouchard. We have lots of time to actually work with here and tie up this game. I'm not too worried. The Oilers have been by far the better team. Nuge on net. Rebound is there. Kane can't put it in. Kane over to Bouchard. Blocked in front. Great save by Bobrovsky. Who was that on? Was that Cody Ceci? No, that was actually, it was Bouchard, Perry, one of the two, maybe. It was a right-handed shot. 5:20 left to go in the first period. And the Edmonton Oilers hold on. Perry, 2-on-1 with McDavid. Perry coming in. Okay. EA. Why? Oh my God, and we take a tripping penalty right after that. Are you serious? We are headed to the box yet again as we have to kill off a power play, or a penalty kill, I should say. Oh my God, what a blast from Montour. For Hagee, back to Montour again. Montour Florida trying to go up 2-0 in the game. Oh, go. Henrique, gone. Adam, Henrique holding. He's waiting in the middle. Great save by Bob, and he's going to cover it up. Massive drop for the Oilers. Barely a minute to go in the first period. Back to even strength. Bennett over to Kulak. Brett Kulak behind the net. Brett Kulak up to Cece. There we go. Fogle, take your time, Fogle. Okay, Fogle, don't take your time. Sam Bennett, less than 10 to go. In the middle, Verhaeghe doesn't get a shot on net, and the Oilers are going to have a power play to start the second period. Okay, the Oilers to start the second period do have a power play. Luckily, Chris Knobloch plotted out PP number 1. McDavid, Draisaitl, Nuge, Evander Kane, and Evan Bouchard, I guess. This is a massive power play. We got to get back in this game, boys. We got to sweep the Florida Panthers. I want this done. What are you doing? What is Evander Kane doing? Does he have money on the Florida Panthers money line for game number 4? What is going on? You in debt, Evander? Like you bankrupt again? Come on, dude. What are you doing there? Oh no. Montour. Go. Hyman, go. We got Hyman out there with Fogle and Evander Kane. Hyman just, I don't know what kind of pass was that. Kane over. Bouchard. Easy save for Bobrovsky. That wasn't really too much trouble. Good shot coming out over to Sam Reinhart. Reinhart waiting. Good D by Kane. All right, let's get forward line number 1 out there. We need the big guns. Hyman coming in. Zachary Hyman. McDavid. Connor McDavid could have sniped that, in all honesty. He really could have sniped that. McDavid, why did you stop there? Go after the puck, dude. Come on now. 14 to go. Almost halfway through the hockey game. Florida Panthers have a 1-0 lead. Man, after game 1, these games have not been high scoring whatsoever. I mean, we've had a 1-0 lead for the past 3 games. Come on, McDavid over to Dry. Trying to get on net. Doesn't get it to go, though. Reinhardt skating it out. Over to Tkachuk. Another great... Oh, my God. What a save by Skinner on Matthew Tkachuk. In the middle, Mahura. Lawrence. Tkachuk. And Matthew Tkachuk will give the Florida Panthers a 2-0 lead here in game number 4. As the Edmonton Oilers are going to need some sort of a comeback if they want to win the Stanley Cup in Sunrise, Florida. I mean, the Panthers have really dominated this game, in all honesty. We have not had a good game whatsoever. Here they go again. Verhaeghe in the middle. Reinhardt. Stu has been keeping us in the game, though. We're not out of it yet. Lots of time left in the game. Cece. What I mean, we oh my God, horrible turnover on Bennett. Oh my God, Skinner, attaboy, Stu. Mahura, oh my God, rebound was there. There was literally a rebound to be had for Florida. Come on, Edmonton, we got to step up here. We've not had a great game. Perry in the middle. Oh my God, what a turnover. And Vladimir Tarasenko on the breakaway. Tarasenko puts it home as the Panthers go up 3-0 in the game. Absolutely dominating the Oilers right now. Corey Perry, a horrible turnover. And Vladimir Tarasenko on the B-way. Backhand, forehand, low blocker on Stu. Now, we are only midway through the second period, but this is getting close to a blowout. Maybe the Edmonton Oilers can come back. I don't really know. I mean, I'll let you guys know. I'll definitely inform you guys if somebody scores here. Ekman Larson over to Ekblad. Wow, the Florida Panthers are dominating. 4-0 lead. 5 minutes left in the second period. This game might be over. Yeah, I think this game is over, chat. There's no way that the computer AI is going to score 4 goals in the third period. I am going to give the Oilers a chance, though. If they score 1 before the end of the second, we will watch the rest of the third period, but this game is pretty much over. I've watched too much of the computer AI hockey to know there's no way they're scoring 4 goals in the third period. Not a shot. 3-minute periods as well? No way. Luosterainen coming in. Rebound. We've just got dominated this game. This is not our game whatsoever. Stetcher. Troy Stetcher. Moving on up. Stetcher. No. In the middle, Fogle. Can he get a goal? Kulak. Great save by Bob. 2 minutes to go here in the second period. Can the Oilers score at least 1 goal and give me some hope here? Shot on net. Ekblad. We now have Cal Pickard in the net as Stuart Skinner got pulled. I did not make that executive decision. That was actually Chris Knobloch. But I mean, 10 seconds to go, and it doesn't look like it, as the Florida Panthers are going to force a Game 5 back in Edmonton, as they're not going to get swept in the Stanley Cup Finals. And here we go, game number 5 in Edmonton. The crowd is absolutely electric as the Stanley Cup yet again is in the building. The Oilers had a horrible effort in game number 3 over the Florida Panthers, losing 4-0. I didn't even watch the third period because there's no point. The game was over by the end of the second. We have to have a big effort here. Hyman on net, trying to do that play with McDavid yet again. That must be a set play they've worked on here for the Stanley Cup Finals. Tkachuk over to Reinhart. Great save by Stu. Draisaitl, no. Move it on up. Hyman, here we go. We got to score first. We scored first 3 out of the 4 games. The one game we didn't, we lost. Rebound! Oh my God, what a save by Sergei Bobrovsky, robbing Leon Draisaitl. Montour going to skate it out. Brendan Montour. Whew. That was a close one, I'm not even going to lie. That was definitely a close one. Bouchard up to Hyman. Over to Draisaitl. Loses it to Gustav Forsling. Are you kidding me? Draisaitl steals it though again. Hyman looking. Hyman is looking. Nursey dumps the puck in. All right, forecheck by the Edmonton Oilers. Forsling over to Montour. Skating it. We're about halfway through the first period. No whistle so far. Perfect. Kane, move it up. Kane, give back to Kane. Perry. Okay, Perry, make up for that horrible turnover. Matthias Ekholm moves it up to Corey Perry. Perry, tons of room. Corey Perry over, and Nugent Hopkins is going to open the scoring for the Edmonton Oilers. An absolute rip, an absolute bomb. Call it whatever you want, but the Edmonton Oilers are going to take the lead early on in the first period. I've never seen Nugent Hopkins take a one-timer. But I mean, here in NHL 24, he's got an absolute bomb. So the trend so far is whoever scores first has won every single game. Obviously, Edmonton in the first 3, Florida in game 4, and now in game 5, the Oilers take an early 1-0 lead. For Hagee over to Ekblad as we are under pressure early. There we go. Headed to the power play. 2 minutes for tripping on Sam Bennett. I wonder if he's related to Bo and Colt Bennett. Shout out the ranch. All right, massive PP here. We got, oh my, no. Why do we got our second power play out there? Hyman, over, Ekholm. How did Ekholm not bury that? Hyman, another great save by Bobrovsky as he's going to cover the puck up. I don't know why we don't always start out with our first power play every single time we get the man advantage. I mean, we have McDavid and Draisaitl out there. There we go, win the draw. Kane over Bouchard, and a Bouch bomb from the point. As the Edmonton Oilers early in the first period are going to take a 2-0 lead in the game. McDavid wins it back. Over to Evander Kane, over to Bouchard, and a bomb in the back of the net. The Edmonton Oilers want the Stanley Cup here on home ice. They want it bad, baby. That's how we started the game. McDavid over, backdoor, and Zachary Hyman is going to give the Oilers an early 3-0 lead in the game. Oh my God, this is literally tears. Tears are going to come out of me. McDavid backdoor, tap in Hyman, tap in Merchant. Scoring 54 goals in the regular season, 14 in the playoffs. This dude is for real, man. What a pass by McDavid, and what a finish by Zach Hyman. Now, obviously, there is a lot of time left in this game. Time for the Florida Panthers to come back for sure. Tkachuk, and there it is. He gets them back to within 2. Matthew Tkachuk right away gets the goal. Now, if it was 4-0, I would probably give the computer no hope, but at 3-1, they can probably come back in this game. I'm willing to bet that, I mean, especially with the time left, we're still not out of the first period, for God's sake. Draisaitl, can we get another one? Draisaitl, McDavid over to Hyman, Zach Hyman, put it in, no! It was on the goal line. How did that stay out? I literally have to get a replay on this. Zach Hyman shoots it, hits the post, chat, that's in. Bro, that is in. Is that not in? Let me know in the comments below. Is that puck fully crossed the goal line? I'll try to give you guys the best angle I can. Drops out in front. How? How does that stay out? It's floating on the line. Oh my God. Somehow, some way, that puck stayed out of the net. Oh my God. No. Get it out, Ekholm. There we go. Up to, is that Connor? Go Connor. Draisaitl, backdoor Hyman, Zachary Hyman, second of the night, and the Oilers take a 4-1 lead here late in the first period from Draisaitl and Connor McDavid. The Edmonton Oilers are dominating game number 5, baby. A 4-1 lead for the Edmonton Oilers. They are now 40 minutes, almost 40 minutes away from winning the Stanley Cup. Almost a minute remaining in the first period. Oilers up 4-1. Florida needs to get one here before the end of the first if you want any chance of getting back in this game. If the Oilers score the next one, the game is probably over. Honestly, it's still probably over. 3-goal lead with like 2 minutes to, or 2 periods to play. It might be possible, but Regardless, the Oilers are going to lead 4-1 after 1. Now, honestly, the only painful part about this, I will get my glory at the end of this game, hopefully, unless they get a serious comeback here, miracle on ice too. But I mean, I'm going to have to sit through 2 full periods of the computer AI going back and forth, knowing that the Edmonton Oilers almost but certain have this game locked up 4-1 lead. I mean, it's not impossible by the computers, but I just don't think it's very likely. I mean, obviously in real life, it would be a lot different, but the computer AI is pretty brainless in this game. McDavid coming out, walking out. Get a good shot on net, but doesn't get the goal, man. McDavid has been all over the Stanley Cup Finals. He wants his Stanley Cup. It's been far too long. What is it, 8-9 years that McDavid took to get to the Stanley Cup Final? It's been a long time coming for McDavid. Finally here, and he does not want it to go to waste. Nursey moves it up to McDavid. Connor rips a slap shot on net. Hyman gets the rebound. Or play Montour as the Oilers are going for a change. I might actually make them defend the lead. Actually, we'll go to standard. We don't need a full forecheck. Not with, oh no. Sam Reinhart coming down. Reinhart, shot on net. Stu's going to make the save, and he's going to play it as well. Sam Bennett trying to get the Panthers back in the game. Rebound. Great save by Stu. He came across and made the sprawling save. Ekholm. Moving on up, Ekholm. There we go. Up to Kane. Here we go. Evander Kane over the Nuge. Nuge. Doesn't get a shot on net. Behind the net, Nugent Hopkins. Back to Ekholm. Ekholm. Nuge again. Behind the net. In Gretzky's office. Fogel. Back to the point. Ekholm skates it out. All right. Florida really has been dominated here in Game 5. I mean, they dominated the Oilers in Game 4, but the first 3 games were back and forth, although the Oilers were clearly the better team. They've scored first. Fogel in front, and Warren Fogel will give the Oilers another goal as it is a 5-1 lead in the second period. I honestly might just fast forward to the third period. We still got a lot of time left in this game, and the Oilers are running away with the score. All right, so here we are in the third period. Still a 5-1 game with 4:27 remaining. We'll come back. We'll watch the rest of this. I mean, it's been back and forth, computer AI versus computer AI. You guys can probably guess what has happened. A lot of turnovers, and so far so good for the Oilers as they are 3 minutes away from winning the Stanley Cup. Janmark coming in. Janmark trying to go for more offenses. Spencer Knight is in the net now. Bobrovsky got pulled. Uh-oh. That is not good. As Skinner as well. Stuart Skinner has played amazing throughout this entire finals run. I mean, he got pulled in Game 4, but, I mean, Game 4 was a horrible effort by everybody. Ekholm on the boards to Fogel, wristing it on net. Less than a minute to go until the Edmonton Oilers are crowned Stanley Cup champions. The cup is in the building. It's been shined up. It's been ready for the Edmonton Oilers to finally capture. It's been far too long. Connor McDavid. Oh my God, we take a penalty? Really? Matthias Janmark, you're going to do that in a 5-1 hockey game with 39 seconds to go? All right, I guess we're killing a penalty for the rest of the remainder of the game here. Sam Bennett wins back to Luosterainen and Forsling on net. Great save by Stu. 30 seconds to go. Oh my Lord. If this happens in real life, I will literally cry. Don't worry, boys. We're going to be doing a watch party for pretty much every single Stanley Cup Finals game. Oilers and Panthers. 22 seconds to go. Forsling coming in. CC. Great D by CC. Empty net by Florida. Derek Ryan. Oh, I thought it was an empty net. Never mind. Spencer Knight is in there. I guess they didn't pull their goalie. I mean, why would they? It's a 5-1 hockey game. Less than 10 seconds to go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the Edmonton Oilers are your 2024 Stanley Cup champions. Connor McDavid finally goes on and win his first cup of his career. Leon Draisaitl as well on the back of Stuart Skinner, who played phenomenal in the Stanley Cup Finals, beating the Florida Panthers in 5 games. If that's the result in real life, goddamn, would I ever be happy. Going up 3-0 in the series. Had a bad game number 4, that's for sure. We got dominated in Game 4, but it doesn't matter as Connor McDavid will take home the Conn Smythe. 3 goals, 7 points in the finals. Unfortunately, he does not track his entire playoff totals. But I mean, in real life, he definitely is the favorite. Him or Dry will definitely win it from the Oilers. But McDavid is that dude. He is, in fact, him. As there it is. The Stanley Cup waiting to be presented to the Edmonton Oilers for the first time since how long? I mean, we only made 1 Stanley Cup Finals in the 2000s. And that was 2006 to the Carolina Hurricanes. I'll never forget it. As here comes McDavid coming to lift the cup for the first time in his career. as he is forever now known as a Stanley Cup champion. Also, the Edmonton Oilers roster, top to bottom, absolutely electric. And I literally cannot even choose to give it to Leon Draisaitl. So instead, Nugent Hopkins, been here the longest. What has it been, like 13 years in Edmonton? Finally, he was around during the dark ages, and now he's here for a Stanley Cup victory. What a game. What a series. What a playoff run by Nuge. In real life, he stepped up big in the conference finals. Next up, it's got to be Stu, man. A lot of hate goes towards this guy, but he plays his best hockey when it matters the most. And in the Stanley Cup finals, absolutely lights out. Outside of Game 4, he had a bit of a rough game, but the whole team did as a whole. Outside of that, allowed 1 goal in Game 5, 1 goal in Game 3, 1 goal in Game 2. And finally, Shaq Hyman. What a pickup for the Oilers. Signed him from Toronto, I believe, in the 2021 offseason. And I mean, 54 goals in the regular season, 14 in the playoffs already. He's one of the best acquisitions in the last decade, in all honesty, as the Oilers, man. The Oil Babies. The Edmonton Oilers are going to go on and win the Stanley Cup. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you leave some support on it. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, don't be silly. Wrap your willy.